Tea sippers. What it do? How we doing tonight? Hey, hey, hey. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in, hitting the like button. We vibing tonight. Absolutely. Ooh. I hope y'all had a great Tuesday. Mine was busy. I had a lot going on. Hey, Cynthia. I am so digging that vibe. I ain't gonna even lie. Yes, indeed. So listen. I don't know about y'all. I mean, I do.
Obviously, the president prefers to get that.
I do know about him. But I think I don't know. I think he had no finger on it. They said no. Saudi done said, boy, Trump had an attack plan for today. Oh, did he? His own allies stopped him. What? I know,
This morning, the United States military was supposed to attack Iran.
I was
The
not
attack was
expecting.
scheduled. The order was ready. The military was on standby.
Y'all hearing this?
It didn't happen. Not because
I
Trump
accidentally
changed his
hit it.
mind. Not because Iran made a deal. Because 3 leaders called him and said no. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, America's own allies.
Hold on, I guess I gotta go on in because I wouldn't.
Now.
This is
Strong
not.
or weak? Is Trump strong for listening to his allies or weak for being stopped by them? Drop it below.
He don't
right
have a
now.
plan. Hold on.
Because the answer tells you everything about.
Okay, y'all. As you see, I hit this other device before I was planning to. I guess I didn't realize I didn't have my earpiece in there. Yeah. Anyway, while I'm here, let's go ahead and play. He in a whole bunch of trouble. Oh, they're doing nicks, facts, attacks, the veto. I guess let's check it out. Let me start over. Y'all ready to go on in? Hey, Samantha. Hey, Joe. Hey, Room Shaker. I guess we here now. It's out of order. But he got some facts up here. He's showing some really crucial details. Let me take this brown beauty down, girlfriend. Hey, Auntie Fee, how you doing, girl? Some people mad at you tonight. They gonna learn to keep their mouth off you, girl, child. They gonna learn today. They gonna learn tomorrow. They gonna learn until I say they have learned a lesson. Yeah, stop playing with grown folks, old folks. Okay, so let me take this down. Baby, he got a hold. Your allies stopped our war. You're no longer in control. Y'all see this? he made a prediction of all of this that's going on. So here, like a few years ago, check it out. Who said that? Check it out. I can't remember. But here, Commander-in-Chief was commanded. Ooh, they playing all in Trump face, baby. He never knew what he was doing the first or second time. Jared Kushner and his daughter and sons was running it before. They got in trouble with the law. All eyes was on them, and they said, not anymore. We will work behind the scenes. Yeah, but you're going to have to get your... Because it never made sense to me even before a couple of weeks ago. They not your cabinet. Why are they there? I mean, what are we doing? You still need their expertise because them clowns and phonies that you put in place, they not lawyer. They ain't lawyer. Them hoes ain't lawyer. Trump said them hoes ain't lawyer. They ain't lawyer. They not doing what you told them to do. And they ucking up stuff for your new world order. What are we doing? Yeah, it's all coming down. Ooh, don't somebody sing that song? All falls down. Yeah, yeah. Let's go. Let's hear this.
Is Trump strong for listening to his allies?
Hell no.
Or weak for being... This morning, the United States...
He didn't listen to it before.
...to attack Iran. The attack was scheduled. The order was ready. The military was on standby.
I can't hear him. Can y'all hear him?
Not because Trump changed his mind.
Can y'all hear him?
Not because
Oh,
Iran
no,
made
the
a
volume.
deal. Because 3 leaders called him and
Three.
said no. Saudi Arabia. This morning, the United States military...
Saudi
was
want
supposed to
they
attack
plane
Iran.
back. Don't they want
The
they
attack was scheduled.
plane
The
back?
order was ready. The military was on standby. It didn't happen. Not because Trump changed his mind, not because Iran made a deal, because 3 leaders called him and said no. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE. America's own allies vetoed America's war. I need one word from you right now. Strong or weak?
Who?
Is Trump strong for listening to his allies or weak for being stopped by them? Drop it below, right now. Because the answer tells you
not strong
everything
neither.
about who actually controls this war. Let me give you exactly what happened.
But he should have
Monday
listened.
night, May 18th, 2026, Trump posted on Truth Social. For Iran, the clock is ticking, and they better get moving
And they said
fast,
no.
or there won't be anything left of them. Time is
So,
of the essence.
okay, I get it now.
That was Monday.
So they told him, no, we're not going with you. No. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down, Brown. In my dear voice. In my dear. Sit down, Brown. Sit your ass down. We not going. You on your own. We are no longer fighting Bibi Netanyahu. I mean, he got you like a puppet. He just playing with you all over the place. Laughing and giggling. Yeah, watching you destroy the U.S. Steal from them. Lose cases. Avoid Congress. We ain't going. And yeah, so I guess he did not have a choice. He did not have a choice. So was he smart, or what was the question? It's not if you smart. What was the question? Yeah, for listening. What was it? Strong? What was it?
Iran, the clock is ticking.
You was strong enough to understand that you gonna lose everything, and you going to prison when they start losing at the midterms, and you already see what's happening. You already know that. You might as well go ahead and think that you strong and do it yourself. You ain't man enough for prison. And ain't nobody gonna change your diaper. That's it's all the luxuries that you have been used to, baby. All talking tough and do. Hey, Brian. Yeah, all that shit you used to. They gon', baby. I ain't gonna even tell you what Big Bubba gonna do. He gonna yank that diaper sheet. You running out the side of it anyway. You might as well take this motherfucker off, cause I'ma keep you working. I'ma keep you busy. Yeah, I'ma see if I can, stop you from running all over yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna back that ass up. You know what I mean. Yeah, your ass is going to prison unless you eliminate on your own. You going. Yeah. And you so trifling, you gonna take your kids with you. Yeah, that's the type of daddy you are. Trifling. Sorry, good for nothing. Yeah.
Actually controls this war.
Stupidest president.
Exactly what happened.
And ugly, as Tyler said. Don't forget
May
ugly.
18th, 2026. Trump posted on Truth Social. For Iran, the clock is ticking, and they better get moving fast, or there won't be anything left of them. Time is of the essence. That was Monday.
Nobody's scared of you, God.
Tuesday morning, May 9th.
I'm sorry, y'all. It just killed me how these people think somebody's scared of them, boy. Ain't nobody scared of you. Nobody. Your car been pulled a long time ago. You've been exposed for a minute. They just playing with you now. Hell, I guess they said, well, hell, if he let Putin play with it, not Putin, Bibi Netanyahu play with him, I want to play with him too. I want to play with him too. That's what they doing to you right now. Everybody passing you around. You the passing around. Yeah. What's that sound? Do this. I can't think of it. They passing you around. Yeah, they dangling. They telling. They out on the phone with shit. I did this, that, and the other. Oh shit! When I had them, ooh-wee. So they sitting up there talking and laughing about what one of them did that the other one didn't do, and so on and so on. They passed your ass around. There's a lot of pass around going on. Folk think they better than folk. Folk think they better than folk. Yeah, everybody's supposed to be afraid. Ooh, I guess. I don't know. Ooh, yeah, dude, they laughing at your ass right now, spinning you around like that little spin top. Spinning that ass around, laughing at you. Make a fool of yourself. That's what's happening. I don't know if you know it or not. Maybe they didn't tell you, but yeah. You need to start listening to more people that's telling you good advice instead of the folk who's trying to continue to steal, ill, and destroy. That's the devil's playground. Your mama and them didn't teach you that? Boy. Yeah, you are playing on the devil's playground. And everybody now is having fun with you. Yeah, they're having fun with you. Fun, boy. Let's go.
Right now, because the answer tells you everything about who actually controls this war. Let me give you exactly
Orange
what happened.
diaper wearing ass.
Monday night, May 18th, 2026. Trump posted on Truth Social. For Iran, the clock is ticking, and they better get moving fast, or there won't be anything left of them. Time is of the essence. That was Monday. Tuesday morning, May 19th, Trump posted again. And this time the message was completely different. He said, and I want to read this carefully because every word matters.
Let's go.
I have been asked by the Emir of Qatar, Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, and the President of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to hold off on our planned military attack of the Islamic Republic of Iran, which was scheduled for tomorrow. Scheduled for tomorrow. Trump had a military attack on Iran scheduled for today, May 19th, and didn't tell anyone. No congressional notification, no public announcement. The American people found out their president was about to launch a war the same moment they found out he wasn't launching it. And the reason he wasn't? 3 phone calls from Gulf leaders. I want to introduce a framework today, the veto. In international relations, a veto is what happens when one party has the legal or practical power to stop another party's decision. We know the UN Security Council veto, China vetoes,
Oh,
Russia
man,
vetoes,
I'm on the wrong
US
live.
vetoes.
God,
But there's
dog.
another kind of veto, an informal one. When a country you depend on tells you, if you do this, we cannot support you. That is a veto. Not legal, but just as powerful. Because here's the question you have to ask. Can the United States military attack Iran without the Gulf bases? Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, home to U.S. Central Command Forward Headquarters. Over 10,000 American personnel. Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE, the same base that hosts the nuclear-capable B-2 bombers that have been flying missions throughout this war. Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, thousands of U.S. troops, Patriot missile batteries, critical logistics. Now ask yourself, if Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE say, we don't want this attack, can those bases still be used? Can a U.S. president launch a war from a country that just told him not to? The answer, practically, diplomatically, strategically, is no. That is the veto. Trump's finger was on the button, and his allies moved his hand. Now let's understand why these 3 leaders picked up the phone on Monday night and Tuesday morning. Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia. MBS has been the primary financial backer of ceasefire talks. Saudi Arabia's economy runs on oil stability. Every day of war costs Saudi Aramco customers. Every spike in oil prices is a short-term gain and a long-term structural risk to Saudi economic diversification, the entire Vision 2030 plan. But more importantly, Saudi Arabia shares a border with Yemen. Houthi missiles have hit Saudi soil throughout this war. MBS knows what escalation looks like from the inside. An all-out U.S. assault on Iran with no deal in place means Houthi retaliation, Iranian missile salvos, possibly Saudi infrastructure targeted. MBS called because Saudi Arabia would absorb blowback that America wouldn't. Tamim bin Hamad, Qatar. Qatar hosts Al Udeid, the largest U.S. air base in the Middle East. Over 10,000 American personnel on Qatari soil. Qatar has also been the primary diplomatic back channel for Iran negotiations throughout this war. Qatari diplomats have been in Tehran, in Washington, in Muscat, carrying proposals in both directions. If Trump attacks Iran today, Qatar's entire diplomatic architecture collapses overnight. Every relationship they've built as a neutral mediator, gone. Tamim called because Qatar's entire strategic identity was on the line. Mohammed bin Zayed, UAE. The UAE just had a nuclear plant hit by a drone 2 days ago. Their own nuclear infrastructure was targeted. They are simultaneously hosting Israeli defense systems, which is why they were targeted, and trying to maintain relations with Iran. MBZ is walking the most dangerous line of any leader in the region right now. An immediate U.S. attack on Iran the day after Baraka was hit turns the UAE into a direct target for Iranian retaliation. MBZ called because his country was already on fire. This has happened before, more than once. 1973, Nixon and the Yom Kippur War. Israel was winning. Nixon wanted to keep supplying weapons. Saudi Arabia led an oil embargo that brought the U.S. economy to its knees. Nixon didn't stop because he wanted to. He stopped because the cost of continuing was unbearable. The Allies' veto wasn't a phone call. It was $4 gas lines across America. 1983, Reagan and Beirut. 241 American Marines killed in the Beirut barracks bombing. Reagan wanted to respond militarily. France, Italy, and the UK, all part of the multinational force, made clear they would not support escalation. Reagan withdrew. The most powerful president of the Cold War era was stopped by coalition partners who simply said, "We won't go with you." 2003, Bush and the Iraq War Northern Front. The original plan for Iraq included a northern front through Turkey. Turkey's parliament voted no. The entire northern invasion had to be scrapped. The war that was supposed to take 6 weeks took 8 years, partly because the strategic plan was never fully executed. An Allies parliament stopped the United States military's operational plan. Now 2026, 3 phone calls, 1 morning, the attack didn't happen. The pattern is consistent. The most powerful military in history is constrained by the network of relationships it depends on to function. Hit the like button right now if you're seeing this for the first time anywhere, because what I'm about to tell you next is the part nobody is reporting. The veto isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning. Here is the structural reality that this
Hey,
morning
Natural
revealed.
Knowledge.
The United States provides security to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. American troops, American bases, American missile defense, American naval presence in the Gulf. The entire security architecture of the Gulf depends on American military power. That is the traditional relationship. America protects. The Gulf pays and hosts. But what happened this morning inverts that relationship completely. The countries that depend on America for security just told America what it can and cannot do militarily. The protector needed permission from the protected. Think about what that means. If Saudi Arabia can veto an American military operation by making a phone call, what else can they veto? If Qatar can stop a U.S. strike by raising concerns about diplomacy, what leverage does that give them in every future negotiation? If the UAE can pull back an American attack by pointing to its own vulnerability, what does that mean for the next time they want something from Washington? This morning, 3 Gulf states discovered or confirmed that they have informal veto power over American military action in the region. That is a geopolitical asset of enormous
Hold on,
value,
y'all.
and they exercised it today. Now let's talk about the
Wow.
audience that was watching all of this most carefully. Tehran. Iran woke up this morning expecting a possible American attack. Instead, they
Okay, y'all. Bear with me. I selected the wrong it's the wrong live. So I had to do some switching up. This is real tea that I was not expecting to play right now. Very informative, but I need to do some switcheroo right quick. So bear with me. And in the meantime, hit the like button. Please. Major switcheroo. Oh man, what is going on? Let me hit refresh. Sorry. You right, so wrong. You right, so wrong video. Yeah, it's the wrong one. So I got to do some switcheroo, but it's showing me back here. It's not letting me grab the one for Trump. It's showing me. Yeah, I need to fix this, and it's not letting me fix it. Let me hit refresh. Hey, Joe, has the hot tea? Yeah, baby, because I wasn't expecting this. He got veto, see? Everybody catching on to his tricks, and they trying. I guess they was trying to hope that he was going to pull it off. He can't pull it off. I'm so confused. Them 3 people over there waiting, they need to come over here. I grabbed the wrong one. And it's not letting me fix it. Okay, so I'm just going to go on. And then I'm going to go right into Candace after this. Because this was a token. This was a gift. Okay, hold on. Let me let that down. So, you got this. Yeah, I know. I was just trying to fix it and swap it around a little bit, but it wouldn't let me. Okay. I guess it's saying you started late. I mean, you should have been on time, Auntie Fee, and you wouldn't be going through what you're going through right now. So, okay, I'm gonna start over, y'all. Let's go. Trump in trouble. Okay, let's go. Hey, Nat, I saw you. Hey, me.
This morning, the United States military was supposed to attack Iran. The attack was scheduled. The order was ready. The military was on standby. It didn't happen. Not because Trump changed his mind,
Hey,
not because
Monty.
Iran made a deal, because 3 leaders called him and said no. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE. America's own allies vetoed America's war. I need one word from you right now. Strong or weak? Is Trump strong for listening to his allies?
Yeah, he's strong for
or
listening
weak
to
for being
his.
stopped by them?
Yeah, he's
Drop it
strong
below,
in this
right now.
regard.
Because
Did he
the
have a
answer tells
choice?
you everything about who actually controls this war. Let me give you exactly what happened. Monday night, May 18th, 2026, Trump posted on Truth Social. For Iran, the clock is ticking, and they better get moving fast, or there won't be anything left of them. Time is of the essence. That was Monday. Tuesday morning, May 19th, Trump posted again. And this time the message was completely different. He said, and I want to read this carefully because every word matters. I have been asked by the Emir of Qatar, Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, and the President of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to hold off on our planned military attack of the Islamic Republic of Iran, which was scheduled for tomorrow. Scheduled for tomorrow. Trump had a military attack on Iran scheduled for today, May 19th, and didn't tell anyone. No congressional notification. No public announcement. The American people found out their president was about to launch a war the same moment they found out he wasn't launching it. And the reason he wasn't? 3 phone calls from Gulf leaders. I want to introduce a framework today, the veto. In international relations, a veto is what happens when one party has the legal or practical power to stop another party's decision. We know the UN Security Council veto, China vetoes, Russia vetoes, the US vetoes. But there's another kind of veto, an informal one. When a country you depend on tells you, if you do this, we cannot support you. That is a veto. Not legal, but just as powerful. Because here's the question you have to ask. Can the United States military attack Iran without the Gulf bases? Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, home to U.S. Central Command Forward Headquarters. Over 10,000 American personnel. Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE, the same base that hosts the nuclear-capable B-2 bombers that have been flying missions throughout this war. Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, thousands of U.S. troops, Patriot missile batteries, critical logistics. Now ask yourself, if Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE say, we don't want this attack, can those bases still be used? Can a U.S. president launch a war from a country that just told him not to? The answer, practically, diplomatically, strategically, is no. That is the veto. Trump's finger was on the button, and his allies moved his hand.
He had his hands on the button. We knew nothing about his plan. He was finna compromise us again. Ready. Shit, yeah, I'm ready. We was about to be sabotaged. He didn't tell us nothing about that. China done already. So y'all know he mad because of the welcome that Putin got. They had more people out there. He didn't get low level. He mad. Him mad. Him down now. Mad. Yep. He was gonna, and China has already made it clear he pushed that button. I'm wiping all y'all out. There we go.
Now let's understand why these
him and
three
his
leaders
feelings.
picked up the phone on Monday night and Tuesday morning. Mohammed bin Salman answer practically,
Him and his
diplomatically, strategically is no. That is the veto. Trump's finger was on the button and his allies moved his hand. Now let's understand
Yes,
why
John,
these
he
three
was in his
leaders
feelings.
picked up the phone on Monday night and Tuesday morning. Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia. MBS has been the primary financial backer of ceasefire talks. Saudi Arabia's economy runs on oil stability. Every day of war costs Saudi Aramco customers. Every spike in oil prices is a short-term gain and a long-term structural risk to Saudi economic diversification, the entire Vision 2030 plan. But more importantly, Saudi Arabia shares a border with Yemen. Houthi missiles have hit Saudi soil throughout this war. MBS knows what escalation looks like from the inside. An all-out U.S. assault on Iran with no deal in place means Houthi retaliation. Iranian missile salvos, possibly Saudi infrastructure targeted. MBS called because Saudi Arabia would absorb blowback that America wouldn't. Tamim bin Hamad, Qatar. Qatar hosts Al Udeid, the largest U.S. airbase in the Middle East. Over 10,000 American personnel on Qatari soil. Qatar has also been the primary diplomatic back channel for Iran negotiations throughout this war. Qatari diplomats have been in Tehran, in Washington, in Muscat, carrying proposals in both directions. If Trump attacks Iran today, Qatar's entire diplomatic architecture collapses overnight. Every relationship they've built as a neutral mediator, gone. Tamim called because Qatar's entire strategic identity was on the line. Mohammed bin Zayed, UAE. The UAE just had a nuclear plant hit by a drone 2 days ago. Their own nuclear infrastructure was targeted. They are simultaneously hosting Israeli defense systems, which is why they were targeted, and trying to maintain relations with Iran. MBZ is walking the most dangerous line of any leader in the region right now. An immediate U.S. attack on Iran the day after Baraka was hit turns the UAE into a direct target for Iranian retaliation. MBZ called because his country was already on fire. This has happened before, more than once. 1973, Nixon and the Yom Kippur War. Israel was winning. Nixon wanted to keep supplying weapons. Saudi Arabia led an oil embargo that brought the U.S. economy to its knees. Nixon didn't stop because he wanted to. He stopped because the cost of continuing was unbearable. The Allies' veto wasn't a phone call. It was $4 gas lines across America. 1983, Reagan and Beirut. 241 American Marines killed in the Beirut barracks bombing. Reagan wanted to respond militarily. France, Italy, and the UK, all part of the multinational force, made clear they would not support escalation. Reagan withdrew. The most powerful president of the Cold War era was stopped by coalition partners who simply said, "We won't go with you." 2003, Bush and the Iraq War Northern Front. The original plan for Iraq included a northern front through Turkey. Turkey's parliament voted no. The entire northern invasion had to be scrapped. The war that was supposed to take 6 weeks took 8 years, partly because the strategic plan was never fully executed. An Allies parliament stopped the United States military's operational plan. Now 2026, 3 phone calls, 1 morning, the attack didn't happen. The pattern is consistent. The most powerful military in history is constrained by the network of relationships it depends on to function. Hit the like button right now if you're seeing this for the first time.
Hit the like button right now. I got my first donation to help me reach my goal. Thank you. So I'm $90 away. $90 away. Thank you so very much for your support and for your donation to help me reach my goal. Y'all double tap the face of your screen. Double tap the face of your screen. Get the likes up. There's 3 dots at the top right corner. Yeah, I mean, this is information that we would not have known. They don't want us to know the truth. They want to be able to say, oh, yeah, we're close. They're hours away. You know I say this all the time. You know, all that goofy shit. They just don't want us to know the truth. I take pride in going to places where I know that we're going to get more facts than anything. So double tap the face of your screen. Get the likes up, y'all. Share the live. Like, share, subscribe, and support the platform. Yeah, the more you support, the quicker I come on, the more I dig. You know, I don't get lazy. I don't want to get lazy on y'all, but, you know. So support me, and I promise I will bring you real tea. Real good tea. Okay, let's go. I'm going to back it up a little bit just in case you forgot where we were. Let's go.
Didn't happen. The pattern is consistent. The most powerful military in history is constrained by the network of relationships it depends on to function. Hit the like button right now if you're seeing this for the first time anywhere. Because what I'm about to tell you next is the part nobody is reporting. The veto isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning. Here is the structural reality that this morning revealed. The United States provides security to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. American troops, American bases, American missile defense, American naval presence in the Gulf. The entire security architecture of the Gulf depends on American military power. That is the traditional relationship. America protects. The Gulf pays and hosts. But what happened this morning inverts that relationship completely. The countries that depend on America for security just told America what it can and cannot do militarily. The protector needed permission from the protected. Think about what that means. If Saudi Arabia can veto an American military operation by making a phone call, what else can they veto? If Qatar can stop a U.S. strike by raising concerns about diplomacy, what leverage does that give them in every future negotiation? If the UAE...
And let's be clear. This right here up at the top is saying we will enrich all the uranium we want and nobody can stop us. That's what that goal at the top is saying. We can enrich all the uranium we want and nobody can stop us. Baby, they done made deals all around Trump in his arrogance, his narcissistic mindset. They are playing in your face. No, they past playing. Oh, now they just laughing. Let's go.
Can pull back an American attack by pointing to its own vulnerability. What does that mean? Qatar can stop a U.S. strike by raising concerns about diplomacy.
Y'all, this has made us so weak. And where's Israel? This has made the U.S. the weakest ever. How do you rebound off of this? When are you gonna stop? Put it in reverse. Back this shit up. You steady going like you got power. They don't even want our dollars. They don't want our money. And the way you, I mean, they ain't gonna want your coins either. It just blows my mind. Lord, please put an end to this foolishness. Come on.
What that means.
Before
If
it's
Saudi
too
Arabia
late.
can veto an American military operation by making a phone call, what else can they veto? If Qatar can stop a U.S. strike by raising concerns about diplomacy, what leverage does that give them in every future
Hey, Gilmore.
negotiation? If the UAE can pull back an American attack by pointing to
Did I
its own
speak me?
vulnerability, what does that mean for the next time they want something from Washington? This morning, 3 Gulf states discovered or confirmed.
Child, he's okay. I don't wanna go back and forth with you. So come back another day. I'm not here for lies. He's broke, busted, and disgusted. That's why he's stealing from the U.S. None of them are no, they don't want to be President Trump. They are above him. Have you not got the memo? He was stripped in China. Yeah, the art of the deal. He got stripped. Stripped. Say it after me. A moof. Yeah. He got stripped, and he know it. Yeah, so go on with that foolish stuff. So don't say nothing else if you're going to come with a lie. Yeah, all I needed was a tea sipper to say, remove them. Okay, bye-bye. Come back another day. Yeah, we not playing those games. And guess what? I'm still going to back it up so they can hear where we were before I had to remove you. Let's go.
Think about what that means. If Saudi Arabia can veto an American military operation by making a phone call, what else can they veto? If Qatar can stop a U.S.
What
strike
else
by
can
raising
they
concerns
veto?
about
How dare somebody come in here and talk about, oh, like Trump, like he just got chin checked from Saudi UA, just got chin checked. Whatever he was playing, they told him, no, you're not. No, you're not. That man has no power. What are you talking about? He have power over here because a slow, what they say, slow flow. Yeah, I don't wanna, right now. Yeah, we did not pray. Anyway, yeah, how dare you? Cheers. No PDFers, no. No, and they bringing that up when they talking about you. Man, go sit down and figure out how you finna do this time that you know you're not gonna be able to do. You gonna try to lead the country? What are you gonna do? Did anyone discuss the Department of Justice Act clause that his family, and business can never be investigated now in the future? No, we haven't discussed that. So let's finish this. Yeah, but God gonna get him. God gonna turn it all around. So whatever they planning, God is gonna flip the table. He's gonna be so disgusted that he gonna flip the table. And it's gonna all come crumbling down his invest. That's what's gonna happen. God is gonna say enough. God is gonna say no. No. And then his treatment will come. He's trying to avoid the treatment, the wrath that he know is coming. Yeah.
For security just told America what it can and cannot
Release the
do
Epstein
militarily.
files. That's what
protector needed
needs to be
permission from the
said.
protector.
His invest.
Think about what that
Release
means.
the Epstein
If
files.
Saudi Arabia can veto an American military operation by making
Because if it was no Epstein files, we would not be in war. If there were no Epstein files, these fake assaults would not be going on. If there was no Epstein files, what happened in Minnesota and all those other circumstances in the United States, ICE, KKK, all of that would not be going on. And it just blows my mind that we, the people, still don't recognize that ICE is KKK. That blow my mind. It absolutely blows my mind that we, the people, will find ways to justify will find ways to justify it. And everything, and I do mean everything that he is doing is setting it up for, and I don't know why these white folk running around calling folk the N-word is if they not niggas too. It's blowing my mind that these white chocolate ass people think that it's gonna bypass them. Hell, y'all getting the same cocktail in y'all arms. Y'all getting the same chemicals that they done sprayed in the foods and vegetables and in the air. Y'all not special. Y'all, Rudy, you not special. Ain't nobody special. They gonna treat every last one of the white chocolate like niggas. Cause y'all came from us. We didn't come from you. Yeah. That part of the storybook was whitewashed as well to make y'all seem like y'all were better than the royalty that came before you. Let's be absolutely 100%. Yeah, y'all better hit the like button. See, y'all ain't been getting this type of talk from me because y'all have not been supporting me. But let's be clear. Y'all came from us. So I need for the darker shades of brown to understand what's going on. They think that they are going to be tokens. No. Them 16 people and their families who know what the plan is, them the only ones they consider. Your tax bracket is not high enough. Did y'all catch that at the end? Yeah, so don't get it twisted. They using y'all too, white chocolate. Make sure you understand that. Don't get lost in the sauce. So for people who think that, they just enforcing, it needs to be done. No, they trying to make you an immigrant too. It killed me black people keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe. And the light ain't gonna click until it's too motherfucking late. Thinking that you special. How dare you? And then you come back and say, well, I don't care. It don't have no. Yes, it do have something to do with you. And if it don't get you, it's going to get your kids. You better wake up and pay attention. You are not special. And you're going to be the first one when push come to shove. They're going to push your ass in front of the bus. And you thought they was your friend. You are my friend. You're not my enemy. Yes, they're your enemy. And they just playing you like a fiddle, like they have been doing us all along. You better wake up. There's nothing special about you. And they know. They already know white chocolate comes from dark chocolate. You can't get no color from white. But you can get it from black, baby. And as it goes down the hill, you get all these 50 shades of brown. Understand that. So you can come in here giggling and hee-hee-ha and kiki-kiki and saying he the best. He gonna get you too, white chocolate. He know you one of us. He know that. That's why they trying to use that DNA and want it, these fake Jews, because you're not real ones. Yeah. Zionists, that's not of God. That's the devil, fallen angel. Yeah. And even, I'm going to say it again, even the devil knows that God is real. So you can play yourself if you want to. Yeah. Even the devil know that Jesus is real. Jesus is real. I know the Lord is real to me. That's the devil saying. Yeah. Jesus. For I know. Oh. Jesus is real. The devil knows that. You better wake up. Let's go.
America for security just told America what it can and cannot do militarily. Actual reality that this morning revealed. The United States provides security to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. American troops, American bases, American missile defense, American naval presence in the Gulf. The entire security architecture of the Gulf.
Oh yeah, don't even
depends-
want me to talk about the white chocolate reparations. Oh yeah, the white chocolate reparation for evil. You have to be rewarded now. You have to have done evil deed for Trump. White chocolate reparation. Now, it's made to seem like it's January 6th. Yeah. But we know that that's another way of lining his pockets. Y'all remember some time ago, you know, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I told y'all that they don't want us to know that there is a fund. Our 40 acres in a mule is in some old dark office cabinet, pushed away, dusty, and they don't ever want us to know that there is a fund for the former black slaves. Our reparations, 40 acres and the mules. There is. And they know it. They won't bring it up, and they dare anybody to let us know, to pull it out. Blow the dust off that cabinet, pull it out. It's in there. It's in there. They don't want us to know. It's in there. But I'm sure it's in the Epstein files. Most definitely is in the Epstein files. Most definitely Trump and his partners that's in the Epstein files know that it's in there. I heard the message say they can never know. So now all of a sudden they done found reparation for the people he done pardoned. They done got rearrested. They just can't stop fooling with them kids. So he done went to the dark web, got some people to do protest. Yeah, go and do whatever you want to do. Yeah, because I have an agenda that I need this second term, and I can't leave. I can't go fight, do whatever. To the same people, Congress, that's allowing this shit to go forward. They scared to be attacked again. He attacked these people with these pride, you know, whatever the rioters were. And now he's scared of them. Ain't no way in the world I will be going along with a man who sent these violent rioters coming in, turning or climbing walls like creatures, like they aliens, to attack, shitting on Destiny shit, all type of crazy. People lost their life. And now you scared to open your mouth? Really? So now, you know, we just gonna let him do what he wanna do, and we just cause we know he crazy enough to send somebody in here and harm us. Folk judges and stuff houses done went up in flames. But you have made an executive order for them to be able to get a bonus. White chocolate reparations, because you know ain't nobody black. I mean, come on. And hell, 95% of the ICE agents, let's be clear, are foreigners. So while we saying foreigners need to be put on the plane, well, hell, them the ones that are breaking the law for him and yanking people out, shooting them and killing them. What we doing? And then you still got people trying to justify this shit. That blow my mind. That means your mind, whatever the MK is, and the mind control and manipulation, oh, they got you, boo. They got you. Whether you realize it or not, you're going along with their agenda even though you know it's wrong. So you're trying to justify it to satisfy what? Oh, because they don't need to be here? Well, he don't need to be here. How we going to justify that? They criminals. He's a criminal. How we going to justify that? I need for somebody to tell me, how can we justify that everything he's complaining about, he is the #1 leader of it? Every crime. Name one crime he has not committed. Taxes, yeah, grape, yeah, minors, yeah. Physical, yeah. Theft, yeah, yeah. What crime has he not committed? We got people locked up who have been there for years, some sentenced to death, and they are the same crime. He is the biggest criminal of all. You cannot justify it. You cannot justify it. So how dare anybody? It could be my mama. I don't care who you are. How can you justify that? So you had that blind eye type crap. So you worship the devil. Because that's who he worshiped. He's a Zionist. Blind eyes is devil work. Now, I ain't come to this ain't the route that I planned on going tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. But this is the route that God has led me to, because I was not prepared for this man right here. I was not prepared for him. This just fell in my lap. See, this is what happens sometimes. The facts fall in your lap, and it brings another form of awareness to what's really going on. We got to stop being blindsided. And then again, by the time your light bulb comes on, it's going to be too late. That's what they're expecting for the dark chocolate, the milk chocolate. They've conditioned the minds of the dark chocolate by way of slavery. And then the minute we come up, the minute that we ain't falling for that, the minute they want to flip the Constitution, our rights, and it baffles me to hear people saying, I know my rights. You don't know shit with him in office. Stop that. Because what you used to, you're not even paying attention enough to know that that's being stripped away from you. You up here, ooh, Lord, I almost went back to the Mo3 sector. Lord, for a minute, bring me back. Pull me back. We up here entertaining shit that don't even matter. Let me move on before I get upset, y'all. Let's go. Hit the like button. Hit the like. I done spilled all that factual right there. My likes ain't went up not one time. Double tap the face of the screen. Hit, hey, Room Shaker. Hey, Belinda. Oh, you speaking. Yeah. Double tap the face of your phone. Hit those 3 dots at the top right. Let's get this going. Yeah. You know, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I don't even want to give y'all the truth. I don't even want to tell y'all the truth because they want to call me old. I mean, I done been here a lot longer. I done seen some things. And some of this stuff that the light bulb is clicking and going off on, it's very unfamiliar to me. But thank God that he gave me wisdom enough to see and understand what's really going on. And we, the people, ain't gonna know how to act without our rights. So we need to stop playing with ourselves. They are stripping your rights. And again, I want to be absolutely clear. Just like the Hispanics, and they were saying help, 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 and we're like, oh, they don't have nothing to do with us. I told y'all. Once they finish with them, who y'all think they coming after? Do anybody remember me saying that? When they finish with them, they coming for us. I told y'all that. Folk didn't want to believe me. Oh, they can't do that. We got civil rights. Well, no. We just found out the other day. I'm not old. I'm seasoned. Real good seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing good worth eating if the seasoning ain't right. You gotta have some. Let it marinate. Let that season marinate, Monty. Yes, indeed. But do y'all remember me telling y'all, once they finish with these foreigners, that they gonna find a way to come after us? Hell, they trying to make us foreigners. Exactly. I'm finna go on. I done gave y'all too much tea right there. Let's go.
Relationships it depends on to function. Hit the like button right now if you're seeing this for the first time anywhere. Because what I'm about to tell you next is the part nobody is reporting.
Absolutely. And my
Veto
tea sip
isn't
was
the
wrong.
end of the story. It's the beginning. Here is the structural reality that this morning revealed. The United States provides security to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. American troops, American bases, American missile defense, American naval presence in the Gulf. The entire security architecture of the Gulf depends on American military power. That is the traditional relationship. America protects. The Gulf pays and hosts. But what happened this morning inverts that relationship completely. The countries that depend on America for security just told America what it can and cannot do militarily. The protector needed permission from the protected. Think about what that means. If Saudi Arabia can veto an American military operation by making a phone call, what else can they veto? If Qatar can stop a U.S. strike by raising concerns about diplomacy, what leverage does that give them in every future negotiation? If the UAE can pull back an American attack by pointing to its own vulnerability, what does that mean for the next time they want something from Washington? This morning, 3 Gulf states discovered or confirmed that they have informal veto power over American military action in the region. That is a geopolitical asset of enormous value, and they exercised it today. Now let's talk about the audience that was watching all of this most carefully. Tehran. Iran woke up this morning expecting a possible American attack. Instead, they watched Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE publicly intercede on their behalf. Not on Iran's behalf, on the behalf of diplomacy, on behalf of regional stability, on behalf of their own interests. But the practical effect, from Tehran's perspective, is identical. 3 American allies just stopped an American attack on Iran. What does Iran learn from this? First, the Gulf states fear escalation more than they fear Iran right now. That is leverage. Second, America's military action is not automatic. It requires coalition support. It can be delayed by phone calls. It can be stopped by allies. Third, the ceasefire architecture, already on life support according to Trump, just got a new set of supporters who have a direct interest in keeping it alive. Iran's negotiating position this morning is stronger than it was yesterday, not because Iran did anything, because America's allies did something for them. 3 predictions, based on the framework, based on the pattern. Prediction 1, a deal framework will be announced within 7 days. Trump postponed, not canceled. The military is ready at a moment's notice. That is a deadline. And unlike the previous 6 deadlines, this one comes with 3 Gulf states who have staked their diplomatic credibility on a deal happening. MBS, Tamim, and MBZ didn't call Trump to buy Iran indefinite time. They called to buy 48 to 72 hours for a specific outcome. If no deal emerges in that window, Trump launches. And this time, the Gulf states can't call again without destroying their own credibility. Watch the next 7 days. Prediction 2. Iran gets better terms because of today. The veto demonstrated something Iran's negotiators can use at the table. America's allies don't want this war either. When you're negotiating and you know the other side's partners are also pressuring them to close, you have leverage to ask for more. Watch for Iran to push harder on the enrichment timeline and sanctions relief in the next round. Prediction 3. The Gulf states just changed the rules permanently. This morning established a precedent. Gulf states can veto American military operations by invoking regional stability concerns. That precedent will be used again, not just with Iran, with any future military action in the region where Gulf states have interests. America's military freedom of action in the Middle East just got smaller, not because of China, not because of Russia, because of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, the allies America has defended for 50 years. Let me leave you with the question that cuts to the core of everything.
Wow.
Trump had his finger on the button this morning.
Wow.
He had the military ready. He had the order prepared. He had spent the entire...
So who approved the order? I thought this wasn't a war. How's he getting away with this? He knows that if he calls it a war, that right now this is crimes. This is war crimes. This is treason. This is all of these things. So who gave the order? He's past the deadline. Why has he not been yes, Congress is compromised. But who is above? Oh, I forgot. Right. So oops was waiting. I know. I wish I would have known who was waiting. Thank you, CM. Thank you. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Tom. I selected the wrong one and screwed it all up. And I saw that there was people waiting, but I didn't know who it was. So I do apologize. Yeah, so how is this? So foreign countries had to put their big boy drawers on. People that had given him gifts and gold and all of this right here had to have bigger balls than Congress. They're going to have to wipe out the whole cabinet. All these people. Release the fucking Epstein files. Whoever, Congress, majority of them, a lot of them, have been in those Epstein files. And the ones that are going against him, he's trying to bring up charges on them. Sabotage them during the election. This is some of the craziest shit. And in the meantime, they still robbing, killing, and stealing, graping and aping. Majority of his partners and friends that's a part of this secret damn society that got rearrested. This is the craziest shit ever. And Qatar, NIM, had to veto him on wars or crimes against us and foreign countries. Thank God. It's like, sometimes I be feeling like, am I betraying my country? Because, why am I rooting for them to stop what's going on? Because they don't care that they are affecting and putting us in harm's way because this war is not about us. It's about lining his pockets. This is about a new world order. It's about putting them in a better position and leaving us as a third world country. The banks will be empty. Our money will be gone and stolen. His ass would have got on Air Force One and landed over there in Israel, Gaza. So it's like, God dang, I feel like I'm betraying my country. I'm rooting for who they have led us to believe was our enemy. And these people still are wanting, this country is still wanting to make, oh, I know he mad, negotiate, but only with Barack Obama. Well, will you look at that? Will you look at that? Karma spinning the block on Trump. So they still saying, we still want peace. We, me and Obama, we talked to him some years back, and that man had some sense. He was really helpful to not just y'all, but to us too. He is the weakest thing that done ever came our way. And why are y'all playing along with these clowns and shit? What are y'all doing? That's what they looking over there. Well, what are they doing? Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what happened. They now wanting to negotiate with nobody but Barack Obama. A lot of people owe that man an apology. Why is the foreign country recognizing greatness? Why is the foreign countries recognizing a real president? But here we go again, black people, darker shades of brown, he ain't do nothing. That ain't, his wife is a man. And all this stupid shit. Foreign countries having to say, take your hand off the button. Take your hand off the button. I don't know what's going on with your people of power over there, but y'all not doing your job. So bring us Barack. Yeah. Bring us that brown chocolate, that milk chocolate. Yeah. Let me get off this, man. I just really wasn't expecting this. But we all need to wake up and pay attention and stop thinking things are the way it used to be for you. Because they have already made changes. And guess what? Precious, things have changed. What you think you know, you don't know. The rights you think you have, you don't. And it's just a matter of time for them to infiltrate it. So you need to change directions. Start paying attention. Get your ass up and vote. I don't care if you like both of them or not. Get your ass up and vote. Because they taking your rights. It's already in place. The Uncle Tom done sided with them at the Supreme Court level. You don't have no fucking rights. That's the way you need to look at it. You need to start putting on your armor and getting ready for a fight. That's why every time you turn around, you start seeing them calling somebody a God. They're intentionally setting that shit up for you to be caught off guard and react so they can lock your ass up.
And you know the other side's partners are also pressuring them to close, you have leverage to ask for more. Watch for Iran to push harder on the enrichment timeline and sanctions relief in the next round. Prediction 3, the Gulf states just changed the rules permanently. This morning established a precedent. Gulf states can veto American military operations by invoking regional stability concerns.
When did they start that? When did they start that? What did Trump sign over? What did he give up? We don't know. He'll never tell us. How do they have power now to veto him? I mean, good thing. I ain't gonna lie. It's a good thing. But when did he sell his power? When did he negotiate for something? Because he already had a plan on leaving. He know that. They have power over him to veto him, where they act like they can't veto him in the U.S. What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are we living? Is this the damn Twilight Zone? Is this shit a whole movie? What in the world? Why we just lollygagging around? Skip to the loo, my darling. I just, ooh wee, man. Ooh wee. It's bad. It's bad. Dirty not though.
You have leverage to ask for more. Watch for Iran to push harder on the enrichment timeline and sanctions relief in the next round. Prediction 3. The Gulf
No checks
states
and balances.
just
You right,
changed the
man.
rules permanently. This morning established
It
a
changed the
precedent. Gulf
rules.
states
Hold
can
on.
veto America. Prediction 3. The Gulf states just changed the rules permanently. This morning established a precedent. Gulf states can veto American military operations by invoking regional stability concerns. That precedent will be used again, not just with Iran, with any future military action in the region where Gulf states have interests. America's military freedom of action in the Middle East just got smaller, not
Wow.
because of China, not because of Russia, because of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, the allies America has defended for 50 years. Let me leave you with the question that cuts to the core of everything. Trump had his finger on the button this morning. He had the military ready. He had the order prepared. He had spent the entire weekend telling the world the clock was ticking. And then 3 phone calls stopped him. Not an act of Congress, not a Supreme Court ruling, not a protest in.
Oh my God, they blow my mind, y'all. Oh. Not the ones who are supposed to do it. I don't know. I would think, one thing I know, he was not, he didn't want the war. Not Congress, not the Supreme Court. Everybody who is supposed to be in place for us failed us, because majority of these people are in the Epstein files. That is so up to me to hear him say, not Congress, not the Supreme Court. There's nobody in place that has power enough to stop this. That was orchestrated. That was intentional. So foreign countries had to step in place and save the United States, y'all. That is just so heartbreaking. That is, oh my God. Places that we thought were enemies. Really, if we be honest, it's pulling for us to get this the fucker out of here so that we can go back. So no, y'all couldn't get it right. So we gonna have to do it for you. I'm not finna argue with you. I'm just not. I don't want you here. Yeah, I don't want you here. My lights ain't went up no way. You coming in talking about no, I don't have it wrong. I don't believe shit you say. I'm not my blinders are off. My blinders are off. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to comment. Just leave. Ain't shit you gonna say that's gonna make me change my mind. Everybody else knows this. What have you seen the forest for the trees? Everybody know this. But they act like they slow to it. They act like they can't comprehend it. You don't want to. You want to come up with excuses to continue to be sorry and lazy milking the system, thinking that you have rights, and you ain't been paying close enough attention. Foreigners had to save us. Now, if you don't like hearing the truth, I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to play with you. You might as well just leave. You might as well just leave, because you still want us to be blind to the facts. You still want us to believe that that picture ain't a counterfeit and it ain't been whitewashed. It's counterfeit. And if you are a part of that art program, you counterfeit too. Your whole class is fake and frauds. And you want to continue to mislead and misguide. Yeah, I'm telling you now, I got some choice words for you. Yeah, you might as well go ahead and leave, because I don't want to play with the stupid deceivers. As far as I'm concerned, you a rapist too. You're a liar, deceiver, a manipulator. You serve the devil. Get your ass up out of here. Let's go.
Stability concerns. That precedent will be used again, not just with Iran, with any future military action in the region where Gulf states have interests.
Military failed us too.
America's military freedom of action in the Middle East just got smaller, not because of China, not because of Russia, because of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, the allies America has defended for 50 years. Let me leave you with the question that cuts to the core of everything. Trump had his finger on the button this morning. He had the military ready. He had the order prepared. He had spent the entire weekend telling the world the clock was ticking. And then 3 phone calls stopped him. Not an act of Congress, not a Supreme Court ruling, not a protest in the streets. 3 allies, 3 phone calls, 1 morning. The question I need you to answer, and I want your full reasoning, not just one word, does this make America stronger or weaker? And who in the world, in Moscow, in Beijing, in Tehran, is watching this morning and updating their calculation about what America will and won't do? Drop your answer below, full reasoning, because in...
Please don't come in here asking me questions if you have not hit my like button. If you have not supported my platform. Do not ask me questions without supporting my platform. Do you understand?
Something Iran's negotiators can use at the table. America's allies don't want this war either. When you're negotiating and you know the other side's partners are also pressuring them to close, you have leverage to ask for more. Watch for Iran to push harder on the enrichment timeline and sanctions relief in the next round. Prediction 3, the Gulf states just changed the rules permanently. This morning established a precedent. Gulf states can veto American military operations by invoking regional stability concerns. That precedent will be used again, not just with Iran, with any future military action in the region where Gulf states have interests. America's military freedom of action in the Middle East just got smaller, not because of China, not because of Russia, because of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, the allies America has defended for 50 years. Let me leave you with the question that cuts to the core of everything. Trump had his finger on the button this morning. He had the military ready. He had the order prepared. He had spent the entire weekend telling the world the clock was ticking. And then 3 phone calls stopped him. Not an act of Congress, not a Supreme Court ruling, not a protest in the streets. 3 allies, 3 phone calls, 1 morning. The question I need you to answer, and I want your full reasoning, not just one word, does this make America stronger or weaker? And who in the world, in Moscow, in Beijing, in Tehran, is watching this morning and updating their calculation about what America will and won't do? Drop your answer below, full reasoning, because in geopolitics, perception is reality. And the perception that just went around the world is this: America's trigger finger can be moved by a phone call. This is the Shuachin framework. If this analysis gave you something you didn't have before, the like button. Yesterday, Sunday, May 17th, a drone hit a nuclear power plant in the Middle East. Not near a nuclear plant, at a nuclear power plant. The Arab world's only nuclear facility in Abu Dhabi, on fire. Nobody claimed it. I need one word from you right now before we go any further. Accident or signal? Drop it below.
Signal.
Right now. One word. Because the answer changes everything. Let me give you the facts.
What do y'all think? An
Sunday
accident
morning,
or signal?
May 17th, 2026. 3 drones entered United Arab Emirates airspace from the western border. The UAE air defense system, one of the most sophisticated in the region, intercepted 2 of them. The third one got through. It hit an electrical generator on the outer perimeter of the Baraka nuclear energy plant in Abu Dhabi's Al Dhafra region. A fire broke out. The IAE, the United Nations nuclear watchdog, confirmed. 1 reactor was temporarily switched to emergency diesel generators. Then they said the words everyone needed to hear. No radiation release, no injuries. All 4 reactors operating normally. The plant is safe. But here's the question nobody is answering. Who launched that drone? 24 hours later, as of this morning, nobody knows, or nobody is saying. I want to introduce a framework today. The nuclear signal. In conflict theory, a signal is a message sent through action rather than words. You don't claim it. You don't announce it. You let the other side interpret it. Because ambiguity is the point. Let me explain why this matters and why what happened at Baraka yesterday may be the most important event of this entire war that nobody is talking about. There are 3 possible authors of this attack. I'm going to walk through each one, and then I'm going to tell you which one I think it was, and more importantly, what message they were sending. Option 1, Iran launched it directly. Iran has attacked the UAE multiple times since this war began on February 28th. Last week, Emirati officials accused Iran of launching missiles and drones at the port of Fujairah. 3 Indian nationals were injured. An oil facility caught fire. Iran has previously warned publicly that countries hosting U.S. military bases or Israeli-linked interests are legitimate targets. And the UAE has been hosting Israeli Iron Dome systems and personnel. So motive, yes. Capability, yes. But here's the problem with option 1. The drone came from the western border. The western border of the UAE faces Saudi Arabia, not Iran. Iran is to the north and northeast across the Persian Gulf. If Iran launched directly from Iranian territory,
Say that
it would
again,
have
hold on.
countries hosting U.S. military bases or Israeli-linked interests are legitimate targets. And the UAE has been hosting Israeli Iron Dome systems and personnel. So motive, yes. Capability, yes. But here's the problem with option 1.
Okay, so listen, y'all. I just said, do not ask me any questions unless you have hit my like button and supported my platform. So I'm going to remove you. If you want me to stop my program to answer your questions, then you need to send a super chat or super sticker. If not, just enjoy the facts. Yeah, people kill me coming in here wanting me and answering where I get my tea from, and you don't want to support my platform. Who are you? Why would you even come in here like that? My likes ain't went up. How dare you? Now I don't want you here. Y'all say bye to Cammy. I'm not gonna play with you people. You're not a regular. I said hit my like button and support my platform. And you come in asking questions. The devil is a lie. Y'all double tap the face of your screen or hit those 3 dots at the top right corner. And if you insist on not and you're not a regular, than sit back and just enjoy the facts. Because you don't even want to support me. So it's obvious that you don't know where to go get the facts. And I do. Yeah, trolling gonna get you. Yeah, after this one, I'm going to Candace. I'm not gonna give y'all no tea. Y'all not even hit my like button.
Hosting U.S. military bases
the answer's
or
no.
Israeli
After this, you better enjoy it. Don't ask me nothing.
And the UAE has been hosting Israeli Iron Dome systems and personnel. So motive.
I'm giving y'all too much facts.
Capability, yes.
Obvious.
But here's the problem with option one. The drone came from the western border. The western border of the UAE faces Saudi Arabia, not Iran. Iran is to the north and northeast across the Persian Gulf. If Iran launched directly from Iranian territory, it would have come from the east or northeast, not the west. So if this was Iran, they launched it either from Yemen through Houthi proxies or through Iraqi Shia militias, who moved a drone launcher into position near the Saudi border. Which brings us to option two. Option two. An Iran
Belinda, you've already hit the like button. You don't have to hit it. It's just for the ones.
The UAE before.
Listen, if you already hit the like button, you don't have to hit it again. Because what happens is you're removing the like that you gave. I'm talking to the people who are coming in here who have not hit the like button, who have not sent us a cash app, who've not sent any form of support, but want to know where I get my tea from. Instead of just listening. Yeah, no. I have to research. Yeah, y'all like listening to them lies, to the liar up there with the orange face.
Iron Dome systems and personnel. So motive, yes. Capability, yes. But here's the problem with option one. The drone came from the western border. The western border of the UAE faces Saudi Arabia, not Iran. Iran is to the north and northeast across the Persian Gulf. If Iran launched directly from Iranian territory, it would have come from the east or northeast, not the west. So if this was Iran, they launched it either from Yemen through Houthi proxies or through Iraqi Shia militias, who moved a drone launcher into position near the Saudi border. Which brings us to option two. Option two, an Iran-aligned proxy group. The Houthis in Yemen have attacked the UAE before. In January 2022, they hit Abu Dhabi's airport and an oil facility with drones and missiles. 3 people were killed. Iraqi Shia militias, groups like Kataib Hezbollah, and the Islamic resistance in Iraq have launched dozens of drone attacks against US bases and regional allies throughout this conflict. They have both the motive and the capability.
Gene 911, are you trolling? We don't troll here. We grown people. Are you trolling, Gene? What you talking about?
To hit Baraka. And crucially, they have something Iran wants right now, plausible deniability. Here's the strategic logic. Iran is in the middle of nuclear negotiations with the United States. They are under maximum pressure from Trump. Their ceasefire is, in Trump's own words, on life support. Iran does not want to be caught directly attacking a nuclear power plant, especially while trying to convince the world they have no intention of weaponizing their own nuclear program. So you use a proxy, you hit the target. You send the message, you maintain deniability. The UAE investigates, they say Western border, they don't blame Iran directly, Qatar condemns it, Saudi Arabia condemns it, Pakistan condemns it, and Iran says nothing. That silence is the signal. Now, let me show you why this pattern is not new. The nuclear signal has been used before, Chernobyl, 1986, not a weapon. But the lesson was learned by every military strategist in the world. A nuclear facility on fire changes the political calculation of everyone within 1,000 miles. After Chernobyl, no military command for what happens when a nuclear plant is hit. Zaporizhzhia 2022, the largest nuclear power plant in Europe, in the middle of a war zone in Ukraine. Russian forces occupied it. Ukrainian forces attacked near it. Both sides blamed each other. The IAEA sent inspectors. Rafael Grossi, the same man who responded to Barca yesterday, made repeated visits, calling for a protection zone. Did it stop the fighting? No. But it changed the international conversation. Every European leader, every NATO ally had to answer the same question: what happens if it goes? That's the nuclear signal. You don't have to blow it up, you just have to hit it. The fear does the rest. Now look at the Baraka parallel. Zaporizhzhia, European nuclear plant. Europe forced to engage. Baraka, Arab world's only nuclear plant. The entire Gulf forced to engage. Who benefits from the entire Gulf being destabilized right now? Who benefits from the UAE, which has been quietly hosting Israeli systems, suddenly having to worry about its own nuclear security? Who benefits from Trump being forced to respond not just to Hormuz, but to a potential nuclear incident? Hit the like button right now if this framework is connecting the dots you haven't seen anywhere else.
Hit the like button. Three dots at the top right corner. Hit them. Get to the like button. If I got to hit the like button, you got to hit it too. Y'all costing me electricity. You know. Yeah, I still got to pay bills. Yeah. To even research this for y'all. Yeah, no. You know, he have to ask me to hit the like button. I have to ask y'all to hit the like button. Y'all act like asking somebody to hit the like button is an offensive to you. Then go. Ugh. People like y'all, I can't stand. I wouldn't even entertain y'all in real life, for real. Ugh. Get the likes up. Hit the three dots at the top right or leave. Okay. Y'all hit the like
Every
button.
like tells me to keep going deeper because we're not done. The most important question is still ahead. Now let's talk about what happened in Washington. Sunday morning, a drone hits a nuclear plant in a U.S. ally's territory. Trump's response? He posted on Truth Social for Iran. The clock is ticking, and they better get moving fast or there won't be anything left of them. Time is of the essence. That's it. No mention of Baraka. No mention of the nuclear plant. No specific threat tied to the attack. A generic threat he has now made, I want to be precise here, at least 6 times since March. March 21st, 48-hour ultimatum. March 23rd, extended 5 more days. March 26th, no turning back. April 5th, final Tuesday 8 p.m. deadline. April 7th, a whole civilization will die tonight. May 17th, clock is ticking.
They
6
beat him bad.
ultimatums, 0 consequences.
They beat him at
The
his own
ceasefire
game.
is still technically in place.
Anya.
Here's what that pattern produces in the mind of whoever launched that drone at
Anna.
Baraka. If Trump didn't respond militarily to a nuclear plant being hit, then the nuclear signal worked. You can touch the nuclear infrastructure of a U.S. ally, and the response is a Truth Social post. That is an intelligence data point of enormous value. Whatever group or state launched that drone just learned something critical about the limits of American escalation. Now I want to give you the dimension of this story that nobody in mainstream media is covering. Baraka is not just a power plant. It provides 25% of the UAE's electricity. It is the first nuclear power plant ever built on the Arabian Peninsula. It was built with South Korean technology at a cost of $20 billion. And it sits 225 kilometers west of Abu Dhabi in the desert near the Saudi border. The IAE's Rafael Grossi said, and I quote, "Military activity that threatens nuclear safety is unacceptable." He called for maximum military restraint near any nuclear power plant. Now ask yourself, when was the last time the head of the IAEA used the words grave concern about a facility in the Middle East? The answer is Zaporizhzhia. And Zaporizhzhia never ended. It's still occupied. The war around it never stopped. What happens to the ceasefire? Already on life support, according to Trump, if Baraka gets hit again. Not the perimeter, not the generator, a reactor. The IAEA said one reactor was already on emergency diesel power after yesterday's strike. Emergency diesel is a backup system. It works, but it's not designed for sustained operation. What happens to the 25% of UAE electricity that Baraka provides if the plant goes offline? Not from radiation, but from sustained military pressure. What happens to global oil markets when the world's most important energy corridor, the Gulf, suddenly has a potential nuclear incident in it? Oil at $100 a barrel, it goes to $150. The $4.46 you're paying at the pump, that's the floor, not the ceiling. Let me decode the nuclear signal.
Oh, wow.
Quid bono, who benefits? Iran benefits from the message, we can reach the UAE. We can reach your nuclear infrastructure. Every U.S. ally in the Gulf is exposed. Iran benefits from the distraction. While everyone is talking about Baraka, the nuclear negotiation, where Iran is under pressure to give up its uranium stockpile, moves to the background. Iran benefits from the ambiguity. No claim equals...
He's saying the message
what
is
happens
silent.
To the head of the IAEA used the words grave concern about a facility in the Middle East? The answer is Zaporizhzhia. And Zaporizhzhia never ended. It's still occupied. The war around it never stopped. What happens to the ceasefire? Already on life support, according to Trump, if Baraka gets hit again. Not the perimeter, not the generator, a reactor. The IAEA said one reactor was already on emergency diesel power after yesterday's strike. Emergency diesel is a backup system. It works, but it's not designed for sustained operation. What happens to the 25% of UAE electricity that Baraka provides if the plant goes offline? Not from radiation, but from sustained military pressure. What happens to global oil markets when the world's most important energy corridor, the Gulf, suddenly has a potential nuclear incident in it? Oil at $100 a barrel, it goes to $150. The $4.46 you're paying at the pump, that's the floor, not the ceiling. Let me decode the nuclear signal. Quid bono, who benefits? Iran benefits from the message, we can reach the UAE. We can reach your nuclear infrastructure. Every U.S. ally in the Gulf is exposed. Iran benefits from the distraction. While everyone is talking about Baraka, the nuclear negotiation, where Iran is under pressure to give up its uranium stockpile, moves to the background. Iran benefits from the ambiguity. No claim, equal sign, no direct confrontation. But the message was delivered. But here's the more uncomfortable possibility. What if the signal was not sent to Trump? What if it was sent to the UAE? Iran has accused the UAE of hosting Israeli systems, of strengthening ties with Israel during an Iran-US war. Anwar Gargash, a senior advisor to the UAE president, wrote on X, whether carried out by the principal perpetrator or through one of its agents, language that explicitly pointed at Iran's proxy network. The message to Abu Dhabi, hosting Israel has a cost. The message to Abu Dhabi, hosting Israel has a cost. The message to every Gulf state that has quietly aligned with Israel. This is what exposure looks like. And the message to the global community. A nuclear plant in the Arab world is not safe. For the first time in history, that sentence is no longer hypothetical. 3 predictions based on the framework, based on the pattern. Prediction 1, the UAE will formally accuse Iran within 72 hours or it won't. If the UAE formally accuses Iran, the ceasefire ends, period. If the UAE stays silent on attribution, which so far they are, it means they don't want to be the trigger. They're absorbing the signal without escalating. Watch for that accusation, or the absence of it either tells you everything. Prediction 2, the next round of Iran-US negotiations will include Baraka on the agenda. Iran's proxy network just demonstrated reach into nuclear infrastructure. That is now a negotiating chip. Watch for Iran to use Baraka, not directly, not by name, but as leverage. You want security guarantees for the Gulf? Here's what security looks like without a deal. Prediction 3, oil goes above $110 per barrel within 30 days if there's a second strike. One strike, markets absorb it. Radiation levels normal, plant operating. A second strike on the same facility. That's a pattern. That's a campaign.
A pattern.
Goldman Sachs has already modeled Gulf escalation scenarios. Their worst
And
case.
Goldman Sachs was one of the 16 CEOs that went to China to negotiate. Goldman Sachs. Yeah. You're a part of the New World Order. You are also a part of the Epstein files.
Pattern. That's a campaign. Goldman Sachs has already modeled Gulf escalation scenarios. Their worst case, which included nuclear facility targeting, put Brent at $140, $140 oil, $6 gas nationally, $8 in California. The war tax becomes the war tax nobody survives. Let me leave you with a question that should keep every policymaker in Washington awake tonight. The drone that hit Baraka was not carrying a nuclear warhead. It was carrying a message. And the message was this: we can reach what you thought was unreachable. We can touch the Arab world's only nuclear facility. We can do it without claiming it. We can do it while a ceasefire is technically in place. And your president will respond with a Truth Social post. The nuclear signal was sent yesterday. The question, the one I need you to answer below, is this: who sent it? And more importantly, do you think Trump heard it? Drop your answer below.
He can't hear nothing but
I read
himself.
every single one. If you got value from this analysis, the like button is right there. Subscribe if you're not already. I'll be back tomorrow with what happens next, because something all.
So hit my like button, support my platform, and I don't have a problem with answering any questions that you have. Okay? It's just that simple. Hit my like button. My likes need to be up. I have a goal set at $100, and I am $90 away. So if you want me to answer questions, you need to show me some support and hit my Cash App. It's just that simple. Okay, let me get to Candace. Yeah, y'all. I don't know why y'all try to play with me. I just don't know. Yeah, y'all guests come in, be like, oh my God, I need that. Yeah, and that's cool. I don't have no problem with that. I ain't hating on the man. But you gonna hit my Cash App, because I had to find this person. I don't mind sharing it, but you're not gonna play in my face. $AUNTEAFEE. $AUNTEAFEE. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Let's get here. Let me get to Candace. I've been here almost 2 hours. What is happening? I'm still here. And get my likes up.
These new khaki cargo pants are a total game changer. The fabric feels incredibly durable yet comfortable. Trump's acting attorney.
And Trump is lunatic. He mental. For real. Oh, we don't even.
Proposal and called the cease.
Yeah, he talking about how he finna drain our bank accounts. Well, I looked at I'm like, ooh, do I need to move my money? Where's Candy?
The new hire.
I don't know, but he literally uses Excel. All right, you got.
That's good.
Nice, happy Tuesday. At least we hope it's going to be a happy Tuesday. We all have our fingers crossed for Thomas Massey down in Kentucky. Let's go, Thomas Massey. We'll see what happens. We got to start today with some sad news, some very sad news this morning, because we are still being ghosted by the White House. I don't know why. It seems very weird.
I
White
need
House
to
press
see
team
what
does not want
happened
to respond
with
about
Massey.
that email. Is it real? Yes.
Shout out to him. He's the only one of
All
the
right, you
ones
guys,
who
happy
won't
Tuesday. At least we hope it's going to be a happy Tuesday. We all
justice
have our
for the
fingers crossed
victims.
for Thomas Massey down in Kentucky. Let's go, Thomas Massey. We'll see what happens. We got to start today with some sad news, some very sad news this morning, because we are still being ghosted by the White House. I don't know why. It seems very weird. White House press team does not want to respond about that email. Is it real? Yes or no? I'm hurting. I slept with Brigitte doll last night. That's what I do when I'm having a
Oh,
really
wow.
bad day. It's okay, though, because what we've done is we have since filed an FOIA request for the relative White House Correspondents' Dinner emails. I think we're going to get lucky. Anyway, for today, we're not going to focus on that. Instead, we are going to bring you a conversation with the man, the myth, the legend, Victor Marx, gubernatorial candidate for Colorado. A fascinating guy, right? You got to just admit, he's fascinating. Another, dare I say, troubled faith leader tied to Turning Point USA. I mean, this could be the dawn of a new series. Fantastic pastors and where to find them. Welcome back to Candace.
She on your tail.
Okay, so we're not exactly burying the lead, as I said.
I need to snap this. I need for Trump to understand that Candace is on your tail, and she used to be one of yours. She used to be dedicated to you, and now she's exposing you. Candace Owens is on your tail, and all your friends, and Erika Kirk, all of y'all who plotted against Charlie Kirk. She is not going anywhere. She is going to pull the rug from up under you with everything she knows how to do, because she helped you get in office, and she gonna help to get you out. Let's go.
Okay, so we're not exactly burying the lead. As I said, today we are going to be joined by Victor Marx, Colorado's gubernatorial candidate. But I want to at first provide you with the refresher about who he is and why I am interested in him. So, Victor Marx is very much a part of the Turning Point faith orbit. He is apparently extraordinarily close to Erika Kirk, right? So much so that he was the first that we could find to publicly announce that Charlie Kirk had passed away on September 10th on social media. I believe it is on Instagram. It was an hour and a half before the President of the United States made the announcement, even though he has since deleted that Instagram post. We then know that when Erika came home after bringing back Charlie's body in a casket aboard Air Force Two, Victor Marx and his wife Eileen were among the small circle of people who were welcomed into Erika's home to comfort her and to take photos of the grieving widow. Eventually, those photos were shared on the internet. Now, I am also informed that he presented her with a bulletproof car, transportation. He alluded to that in the Instagram post, getting her home, providing transportation to keep her and her children safe. So we can ask him about that. So that he was the first that we could find to publicly announce that Charlie Kirk had passed away on September 10th on social media. I believe it is on Instagram. It was an hour and a half before the President of the United States made the announcement, even though he has since deleted that Instagram post. We then know that when Erika came home after bringing back Charlie's body in a casket aboard Air Force Two,
shout out
Victor Marx
to Massey. He won. Let me get to that. Let me let her finish.
His wife Eileen were among the small circle of people who were welcomed into Erika's home to comfort her and to take photos of the grieving widow. Eventually, those photos were shared on the internet. Now, I am also informed that he presented her with a bulletproof car, transportation. He alluded to that in the Instagram post, getting her home, providing transportation to keep her and her children safe. So we can ask him about that. And shortly thereafter, Victor Marx announced that he was running for governor of Colorado, a calling that he felt came from God in the wake of Charlie's assassination.
Oh, wow. Let me stop right there. Let's see what they're saying. Why is he? Oh, he's calling out Tel Aviv. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, I did some. I hear something.
I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Galrine in Tel Aviv.
Oh, he was in Tel Aviv. So he was in Israel. Ain't that nothing?
All right. Listen, I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Galrine in Tel Aviv.
Hey.
All right. Listen, I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Galrine in Tel Aviv.
I want him to win because he's about the Epstein files, me. That's it. He sounds like he's a fair guy.
I did get the call.
He votes for them majority of the time.
We've been
But
honorable
he's on the Epstein
whole time,
files.
and we're going to stay that way.
I'm okay with fairness.
All right.
He is
Listen,
solid about the Epstein
I
files.
would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede.
That's the root
and it
to
took
the
a while
evil.
to find Ed Galrine in Tel Aviv.
And Trump is after him.
I did get the call through, though. I have.
He
called
probably
and
should run
conceded
as
the
an
race.
independent.
We've
But I
been
appreciate
honorable
his fairness.
the whole time, and we're going to stay that way.
So let me get back to it, you know. I appreciate that. I appreciate him caring about the victims. And I don't care what color. It's not red or blue. It's not black or white. He's standing up for the people who can't get help from themselves, for themselves. So, yeah. Sometimes you gotta take one for the team, and that's just how I feel. That's just my opinion. I want justice for the victims. I want everybody who was a part of this, what is it called, organized crime, to be exposed. And if he's a part of exposing them, power to him. That's just my opinion.
But who actually is Victor Marx? I'm getting old, you're getting old. Our memory is fuzzy. Let me give you a little bit of a recap. I've already told you his real name is Vaughn Victor Kennedy. That's his birth name, at least. And he has told a lot of stories about his childhood, namely surrounding his stepfather, Glois Dean Kennedy. Abuse that he says that he endured at the hand with a bulletproof car, transportation. He alluded to that in the Instagram post, getting her home, providing transportation to keep her and her children safe. So we can ask him about that. And shortly thereafter, Victor Marx announced that he was running for governor of Colorado, a calling that he felt came from God in the wake of Charlie's assassination. But who actually is Victor
By
Marx?
his own
I'm getting old, you're getting
people.
old. Our memory is fuzzy.
Trump
Let me give you
and
a little
Bibi
bit of a
Netanyahu
recap.
now.
I've already
Israel.
told you his real name is Vaughn Victor Kennedy. That's his birth name, at least. And he has told a lot of stories about his childhood, namely surrounding his stepfather,
Yes,
Glois
Belinda.
Dean Kennedy. Abuse
I
that
am.
he says that he endured at the hands of
You
Glois,
need,
which that abuse
you
began
need the
when
number?
Victor was just 3 years old. I'm going to show you more about what he says about that in a bit. What we do know about his stepfather is that Glois did serve in the army doing counterintelligence. He then pled guilty to a conspiracy to of running an international drug smuggling ring, marijuana out of Jamaica. Victor's brother, Mike Kennedy, also pled guilty as a co-conspirator, but he took a plea deal in exchange for testifying against his stepfather. Victor Marx's biological
Okay,
dad was Karl Marx. What a
you
name.
trying?
He was a pimp, a drug dealer,
Hold
and
on.
a world-famous martial arts expert. I am told Victor Marx is, in fact, very
Was
good at
trying to
martial
send
arts,
you
by
a
the way.
cash app.
Now, in terms of his
The
biological
cash
father,
app is dollar
his
sign
biological father spent time in a mental hospital for
AUNTEAFFE.
homicidal tendencies, something
I
that
truly
Victor
don't
Marx
understand how
has
a
expressed that
PDFer can
he has
say.
experienced as well during a
I
period of
don't
his life.
either, because there's a
Victor's
lot of people that are
grandfather,
in the Epstein
I
files
told
too.
you, killed his grandmother. So his grandfather killed his
Oh,
grandmother in
that's
a
him?
public murder-suicide. Karl Marx, what a name. He was a pimp, a drug dealer, and a world-famous martial arts expert. I am told Victor Marx is, in fact, very good at martial arts, by the way. Now, in terms of his biological father spent time in a mental hospital for homicidal tendencies, something that Victor Marx has expressed that he has experienced as
That's a
well during
sociopath,
a period
right?
of his life. Victor's grandfather, I told you, killed his grandmother. So his grandfather killed his grandmother in a public murder-suicide. You're going to hear about Victor Marx's life. Some highlights, I would say. Age 3, beheaded a cat. Age 7, Victor Marx killed his first person because his stepdaddy told him to. By the time he was 17, he had lived in 17 homes and attended 14 schools, was involved with drugs, fights, and theft in high school. At 18, Victor joined the Marine Corps, served for 2 years before he was discharged. At 21, he says he found Jesus, and he started attending Calvary Chapel Church, my favorite church.
All they did was Trump stole
Sorry,
that
10 out of
oil
10,
from
Calvary
Venezuela. It
Chapel
was never
Church.
about
Definitely the
drugs.
pastors.
He released the
At
drug
23,
dealer,
Victor married his wife
Hernandez.
Eileen.
So it was never about drugs.
Marx, and they went on to have 5 kids and grandkids. In 2003, he and his brother began All Things Possible Ministries. In 2023, Eileen's brother, Kenneth Brining, tried to shoot Victor Marx on Victor's property. Fortunately, Victor survived that, but Eileen's brother
Big
would go on
broken
to kill
system.
his own girlfriend. Not really sure what's going on with this family, but
He
it's a
wanted
lot.
to kill his girlfriend.
Like I said, he announced his candidacy for governor of Colorado on October 1st. So that's the reason why his background is now being called into question. It's quite mysterious. And he began
Was it a
teasing
Cash
that
App
run at the
or
memorial service for Charlie Kirk just 4 days after Charlie's
Venmo?
death.
Belinda.
By the way, you don't have to take these biographical
Let me
items
see.
from me. You can also hear Victor Marx. He has not been shy about sharing his story. Take a listen to him tell about how he grew up.
50% of people in this country don't live within driving distance of a Whole Foods, and even more of them can't afford the premiums, even if they do.
Nick Green. I remember sitting on the ground with my arms still tied to the bedpost. And then he brought an animal in, a dead cat. And he had a knife and he said, I want you to cut the head off this cat.
Oh, wow.
And I was terrified. And he said, if you don't, I'll cut your head off. So,
At 3?
yeah, about 3.5. I used the knife, cut the cat's head off, and then he put the carcass on my head and blood dripped down on me. So that was the first really memory that I have of what would be the beginning of a lot of abuse. My stepfather, he put one hand on my wrist, and he put his finger over my trigger finger, and then he pushed, and I pulled, and I shot the guy in his head, and it killed him. And he shoved him in the hole, and he buried him. He wrapped the pistol with a handkerchief, and he said, if you ever tell anybody what I've done, he said, I know where this body is. And he said, I'll tell the police. It's your fingerprints on this pistol. And he says, they'll arrest you. They'll put you in prison. I remember being at a morgue, getting wrapped to a chair and watching them dismember a corpse and then watching them burn it. And thousands of demons now, thousands, easily. I've had demons speak to me through people. Had one just start saying, I will effing kill you. I will murder you. I'm like, shut up. No, you won't. You're being judged right now. Stop using this man's voice. Over 100 missions complete. Would trauma care help over 45,000 women and children? Gene, because of our
What?
access and our relationship.
So he is a serial killer.
And I've dealt
Killer.
with thousands of demons now. Thousands.
So he
Easily.
demon possessed.
I have your fingerprints on this pistol. And he says, they'll arrest you. They'll put you in prison. I remember being at a morgue, again, wrapped to a chair and watching them dismember a corpse and then watching them burn it. And I've dealt with thousands of demons now. Thousands. Easily. I've had demons speak to me through people. Had one just they're saying, I will effing kill you. I will murder you. I'm like, shut up. No, you won't. You're being judged right now. Stop using this man's voice. Over 100 missions complete. Would trauma care help over 45,000 women and children? Gene, because of our access and our relationships with the Special Operating Community and the IDF, they took us in the places no one could go. And they showed us things that Hamas and many Palestinians would say is just propaganda or a lie. Yeah. I let him hold a grenade for his birthday. This guy's trying to kill me. If he comes out of the trailer and he takes that corner, I'm going to kill him. Please prepare yourself. And I remember her going, what?
Oh, okay, let me check.
They diagnosed me with bipolar 2, ultra-rapid cycler, and put me on a lot of meds. There wasn't any help or hope beyond that. I was just spinning. Suicidal, homicidal. On the medications, I was suicidal and probably more homicidal.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't also add that Victor Marx is very much involved in
Did you
human
send it
trafficking,
by way
charity
of a
all
phone
around the
number? How did you
world,
send?
because
Hold
all
on,
of Erika
Belinda.
Kirk
Hold
Traff's
on.
friends
How did you send it? I didn't give a name or a phone number. Where did you send it to? What? Oh no. Cancel that. I would have to give you my phone
are, as I've
number.
mentioned on this show.
Yeah, it didn't say auntie feed because it's not attached to an auntie feed. It's attached to my phone number.
Which just seems to be one of the running themes.
See if you can cancel that.
Anyway, as you know, we hosted Corby Hall, who claimed that Victor Marx was doing some deals or attempting to do some deals on behalf of the IDF. He never said those deals were illegal, just that he declined to participate in them, trying to buy 50,000 guns for the IDF. We'll ask Victor Marx about that. Now, Victor Marx's relationship with the IDF is not a matter of opinion, it's a matter of fact. As you just heard him speak about it, we have also confirmed that Victor Marx conducts this quote-unquote retooling prayer where he claims that he is able to summon demons into a room, out of a person's body, on more than just Corby Hall and his wife, on other people as well. In fact, I am told that he was once conducting such prayers at the Turning Point USA headquarter office. So that's an interesting thing. And this is odd because Victor Marx is not a pastor, actually. He has claimed to be a pastor throughout the years, according to many people. Proof of that exists on his own website, by the way. That it used to say that he was a husband, a father,
Yeah,
a U.S. Marine,
my
a
Venmo is
pastor.
not attached to
That
auntie
has since
feed.
been quietly removed. Now, Corby Hall, you should know, is one of many people who have accused Victor Marx of abuse. Now, when these allegations tend to arrive, Victor Marx always rebuts them with the same line. The person making the allegations is troubled. Now, he was just trying to help.
So he manipulates. So he used manipulation. When people say gaslighting, it's manipulation. You're manipulating. You're lying. Call it what it is. Stop coming up with a cute
Help them or rescue them
gaslight.
from
No,
themselves. Corby
lies.
Hall,
Moving the goalposts. It's lying. We're going to call a spade. We're going to call it by its name. It's deceit.
as said, has mental issues.
Oh, my God.
There are other people outside of Corby Hall. For example, a young woman named Holly Chalmers. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't also add that Victor Marx is very much involved in human trafficking, charity all around the world, because all of Erika Kirk's dearest friends are, as I've mentioned on this show. It just seems to be one of the running themes. Anyway, as you know, we hosted Corby Hall, who claimed that Victor Marx was doing some deals or attempting to do some deals on behalf of the IDF. He never said those deals were illegal, just that he declined to participate in them, trying to buy 50,000 guns for the IDF. We'll ask
Yeah.
Victor Marx about that. Now, Victor Marx's relationship with the IDF is not a matter of opinion, it's a matter of fact. As you just heard him speak about it, we have also confirmed that Victor Marx conducts this quote-unquote retooling prayer, where he claims that he is able to summon demons into a room, out of a person's body, on more than just Corby Hall and his wife, on other people as well. In fact, I am told that he was once conducting such prayers at the Turning Point USA headquarter office. So that's an interesting thing. And this is odd because Victor Marx is not a pastor, actually. He has claimed to be a pastor throughout the years, according to many people. Proof of that exists on his own website, by the way. That it used to say that he was a husband, a father, a U.S. Marine, a pastor. That has since been quietly removed. Now, Corby Hall, you should know, is one of many people who have accused Victor Marx of abuse. Now, when these allegations tend to arrive, Victor Marx always rebuts them with the same line. The person making the allegations is troubled. Now, he was just trying to help them or rescue them from themselves. Corby Hall, he has said, has mental issues. There are other people outside of Corby Hall. For example, a young woman named Holly Chalmers accused him of kidnapping her across state lines and of exploiting her. Victor Marx claims that he was actually rescuing her from her pedophile boyfriend. This is what she had to say in her own words. Take a listen.
What do you want our listeners to know about Victor Marx, the man that you believe that he is, and the experience that you had with him?
I believe that he's a trafficker himself.
That's interesting, because that's a question we've been asking on this show. All of these trafficking charities, what are they involved in themselves? I don't guns for the IDF. We'll ask Victor Marx about that. Now, Victor Marx's relationship with the IDF is not a matter of opinion, it's a matter of fact. As you just heard him speak about it, we have also confirmed that Victor Marx conducts this quote-unquote retooling prayer, where he claims that he is able to summon demons into a room, out of a person's body, on more than just Corby Hall and his wife, on other people as well. In fact, I am told that he was once conducting such
Belinda,
prayers at
do
the
you
Turning
see
Point
that?
USA headquarter
You may want to write
office.
that down
But
for
that's an
future
interesting
references.
thing. And this is odd because Victor Marx is not a pastor, actually. He has claimed to be a pastor throughout the years, according to many people. Proof of that exists on his own website, by the way. That it used to say that he was a husband, a father, a U.S. Marine, a pastor.
War stop.
That has since been quietly removed. Now, Corby Hall, you should know, is one of many people who have accused Victor Marx of abuse. Now, when these allegations tend to arrive, Victor Marx always rebuts them with the same line. The person making the allegations is troubled. Now, he was just trying to help them or rescue them from themselves. Corby Hall, he has said, has mental issues. There are other people outside of Corby Hall. For example, a young woman named Holly Chalmers accused him of kidnapping her across state lines and of exploiting her. Victor Marx claims that he was actually rescuing her from her pedophile boyfriend. This is what she had to say in her own words. Take a listen.
What do you want our listeners to know about Victor Marx, the man that you believe that he is, and the experience that you had with him?
I believe that he's a trafficker himself.
That's interesting, because that's a question we've been asking on this show. All of these trafficking charities, what are they involved in themselves? I don't know. Anyway, Victor Marx's own son wrote a letter to the board on a company that Victor was a part of, accusing his father of abusing both him and his sister. Victor Marx's daughter made multiple social media posts confirming that he was in fact an abusive father, despite her not having wanted the information to be publicized in the first place. Here's a sample of what she wrote on social media. She wrote, on April 26th of this year, a letter was sent to my dad's board sharing detailed events revealing that I experienced abuse at the hands of my father for many years, and that there needed to be
But Linda,
accountability
did you
and
see the
financial
number
restitution was
for
being
Venmo?
recommended. I had no idea about this letter, and I would even do a lie detector test to prove that.
Is this
There was
her?
zero intention of the letter and the private matters to be made public. That was even stated in the letter. My parents did not. Anyway, Victor Marx's own son wrote a letter to the board on a company that Victor was a part of, accusing his father of abusing both him and his sister.
Oh,
Victor
wow.
Marx's daughter made multiple social media posts confirming that he was in fact an abusive father, despite her not having wanted the information to be publicized in the first place. Here's a sample of what she wrote on social media. She wrote, on April 26th of this year, a letter was sent to my dad's board sharing detailed events revealing that I experienced abuse at the hands of my father for many years,
Oh,
and that there
wow.
needed to be accountability and financial restitution was being recommended. I had no idea about this letter, and I would even do a lie detector test to prove that. There was zero intention of the letter and the private matters to be made public. That was even stated in the letter. My parents did not handle this letter well and immediately requested the requests in the letter to be retracted, or there would be quote-unquote consequences. My dad's CEO reached out to me after my father's request for this to be retracted, offering me $55,000 as essentially be quiet money. I declined the offer and requested that we all do intense family therapy and intervention. This is how
Oh,
you can uncover
wow.
all the secrets of your family
She
that no
wrote a
one ever
letter
told you.
against
There is a
her
platform where you can
dad.
search billions of. Now, to be clear, she eventually is going to recant many of these allegations, but her friends privately emailed this show and asserted that no, she was telling the truth about her father and her upbringing, and that it was only due to financial pressure and control that Victor Marx apparently, allegedly, holds over her life in the wake of her divorce from her husband, that she is singing a different tune publicly. I cannot confirm that. We're not speaking to his daughter today, we're speaking to Victor Marx. We can only confirm that abuse allegations tend to follow Victor Marx, both at home and abroad. Now, we have also been contacted, I should say, by family members of Victor Marx himself, who claim that his entire backstory, stuff he is saying about his stepfather, simply is not true. He was not forced to kill anybody, that there are no bodies in the backyards of their farms, and that his stepfather, Glois, was indeed a crazy man, but he did not abuse those kids. Fortunately, like I said, we will be joined by Victor Marx himself when we get back from break.
Oh,
All right, you
wow.
guys, some moments change everything, and for a woman facing an unexpected pregnancy, seeing her baby on a more budget-friendly 45 capsule option that costs $250 less, giving you 2 21-day USA residents only. All right, you guys, let's bring in Victor Marx. Victor Marx, welcome to the Candace Show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Candace.
And thank you for joining me. I'm sorry that I missed your message that came back to me on, I think it was April 22nd. I know we were pinging over Instagram, but I'm glad that you could join us today. I'd like to guide this conversation sort of in order, meaning starting a little bit with your background. I think I have a lot of questions about some of the stories that you've shared, and I was able to speak to some of your family members, and they seem to have some questions about some of the biographical items that you share. So just beginning with, I think, sort of the inflection points, this story about beheading a cat and wearing its head at the age of 3. I mean, it's not an easy thing to behead a cat. I have a lot of toddlers. Do you stand by that?
Well, let's start with, I think, what's most relevant right now are the latest accusations by your last guest, Corby, which is, I think, what brought us together on this whole issue. In what we're going to discuss and the time I'm giving you freely to talk about some things, are you willing to admit when you're wrong or you've been misguided?
So, Victor, just so you know, you're on my show, I'm not on yours. So I'm going to guide the conversation. I said I'm happy to speak about Corby. There are broader concerns. Actually, the way that my highest interest in you is obviously as it relates to Charlie Kirk and your involvement with Turning Point USA.
I realize that.
Yeah,
and,
so
and you're
we
right.
can speak about Corby, but you're this isn't your stage. So respectfully, I do want to. You are running for governor, so I think your biography is important. Obviously, the Corby Hall stuff is important, and if something is wrong, we're happy to correct it. We did invite you to come on the show with Corby, which we asked you to do because that made the most sense, because you guys could rebut each other face to face. You declined to do that, so Corby had the stage for himself, and I could not offer a rebuttal because I wasn't there for the conversations.
Right.
So the
The
answer,
main
the
thing-
answer is yes, but
yeah.
I want to start with your biographical items. Do you stand by that story, that
Well-
inflection point?
Candace, we have to start with what brought me here, which is Corby. And I clearly communicated to you and your staff, do not have him on, do your research because he's unstable. And the very person that platformed him for you, Corey, has filled out a statement both with local authorities and FBI that he is homicidal, and he told her and her husband that he had plans to kill me. And she felt responsible for it being fueled. And your name was brought up as he's aggravated, something about he didn't get what he wanted out of your show. But I need you to at least acknowledge, did Corey contact y'all, not Corby, but did Corey contact y'all with the concerns of not platforming Corby again?
Well, you brought up a homicidal. That's actually something that you said in the clip that we just showed, that you yourself have had homicidal thoughts. Do you still have homicidal thoughts? Or is that a period
Well,
in your life?
That was a long time ago, and I'm thankful I didn't. But currently, this gentleman is being sought by the FBI and El Paso County Sheriff Department, who admitted to Corey, the individual who platformed him on your show, that he was struggling with homicidal thoughts, and he gave detailed plans on how he was going to lay in wait to kill me. Are you
Well, that's not
and your
anything
staff
that we have heard on
familiar?
this show. So like I said, we can't rebut on that. We received only a message from Corey that she got a phone call from the FBI and that they were investigating you for gun running. Did she inform you of this? I don't know. I would really like to go back to the biographical items, though, of your life. I don't want to get into your
well-
background investigations. I was not contacted by the FBI. I can't verify it. And as I said, we can discuss Corby's allegations. But I would like to begin with just the cat.
Well,
Did you behead the cat at the age of 3? Do you stand by that
And-
story?
Did your team view social media, as y'all are a quasi-investigative team by all your allegations? Did you see Corey's public statement about what happened and how this is very serious? They cannot locate this individual you platformed, Corby Hall, and both his wife.
Victor,
and
I
fellow
just have to
employees.
rebut you here and say that I don't necessarily trust what you are saying, given the fact that you don't want to answer just basic biological questions. And after having spoken with your family members who say that it's largely made up, I have no reason to believe anything that you're saying right now. So I'd like to just kind of focus on your character. We can talk about Corby. I have nothing to do with any pending investigations. I have not been contacted by law enforcement, so I'm not
Have
interested
you
in
been
having a discussion about
contacted by
information
Corey?
that I
Have you
don't
been
have.
Candace, you seem to be a little afraid of truth. And what I once thought was a solid show years ago, you've turned this into a TMZ, and worse than TMZ, it's like a Temu version of it. I'm asking you, did your staff not see the statement that Corey Kennedy posted online? We're talking about a homicidal individual who has threatened to kill me, and your name was
I
brought
have
up in
not.
this.
I have answered your question. I have not seen it, so I cannot have a conversation with you about that. What I can have a conversation with you about is the statements that you have publicly made since you are joining the show, and I would like to focus on your biographical items because, as I said, I've spoken with your family in Martinville, and they claim that your stories are
Y'all hit the like button, please.
fantastical. So I'm just asking you, and we can then get into some questions about the alleged gun sales that you were trying to conduct with Corby, which is what we discussed on the show and which we have seen evidence for. I cannot speak to you about a report that I have not seen that you claim is happening, and I would like to just kind of get you focused here because you're running for governor, and I don't think that Corby Hall is going to be your number one issue.
Thank you.
Do you have
Corby is
anything-
my number one issue right now.
This is your
because
number one
authorities
issue
are
for the
looking
state
for
of
him.
Colorado?
Corby is the number one issue right now, who's homicidal and admitted he wanted to kill me and how he was going to do it. That's why authorities are looking for him. But
Well,
to
I
my
would just like
point
to
of my
say to
past
people that are
in the
watching
United
this, I
States
cannot
Marine
confirm
Corps,
anything that Victor Marx is saying. I have not said it. I think he is using by platform to potentially spin some tales. The only thing that I heard was that there was an FBI investigation that was looking into you for guns, and that's all I've heard, and I'm not interested in that. I would like to now, since you have the stage, focus on you as a gubernatorial candidate and your background. And so if I could go back to that yes or no question, do you stand by this story that you beheaded a cat at the age of 3?
Of course I do. But we're
Okay,
happy
thank
to
you.
give you the FBI's agent's name who is in charge of the investigation and moved it here. Regarding my Marine Corps time, this is one of the most flagrant misnomers that you have that really made us go, I don't think they're very professional in their investigations. You claimed, without a doubt, that I only served 2 years in the Marine Corps. Do you stand by that?
That was what we could find. I'm happy to edit that if you'd like to give us an updated answer.
Well,
Was
it's
it-
not
was it
just
2
so
years?
much edit. It was 3 years, and it was on the DD-214 team. So
Okay,
you
3 years.
spread misinformation with great confidence and said, what was he doing? Which shows the lack of professionalism that y'all can't even read a DD-214. So, you know what? I'd appreciate an apology from you on misrepresenting my service to the United States when I served in the Marine Corps. Will you offer me an apology for that?
I think this was just sort of a clerical error that could just have been
It's not
resolved
clerical.
right here. Like I said, you could come on the show and we could talk about your biography. So
Well, now
I don't
you know
think
the
you're
truth.
owed some emotional apology. It was
It's
just
not emotional.
you thought it was 2 years. You're
You
saying it's 3.
misrepresented my Marine Corps time. I would appreciate an apology.
I'm not going to apologize to you for that. I think
Thank
you're being
you. Thank
a little
you.
bit over the top. We reported to.
Believe
we
me,
stand
veterans
corrected.
around the country would stand with me. Veterans don't like to be misrepresented. And you are misrepresenting my time and service in the Marine Corps. And you
Well,
won't offer an
we
apology.
are happy to update the record.
entire
You heard him
veteran
here.
community will take note of that. Thank you.
No problem. We're just happy to correct the error that we made. We said 2 years, and he says it's 3.
My
That's not a big deal.
DD-214 says 3 years, and it is a big deal, Candace. Don't minimize my military service.
Okay, I was not minimizing it. I legitimately thought it was 2, and we stand corrected.
Then offer an
and
apology.
I'm not going to apologize to you, Victor. I sense that you are quite arrogant and you're used to being in control of people
I'm not
and letting
arrogant
them
or
do things
used to
for
be.
you.
I am a truth
I'm
seeker.
just not I'm not that
And
What in
individual.
the
for
world?
someone who is just lambasted innocent people as an internet bully, you're not used to someone come on the show holding your feet to the fire.
My feet don't feel like they're held to the fire at all. I think you're kind of representing yourself as a little all over the place and unable to just present
Not at
your
all. I'm
biographical
very-
items as I'm giving you the opportunity to do. I'm
I'm
asking
just
questions.
correcting you so that we can have an honest conversation and it's not.
At the age of 7 because he instructed you to do that and buried him in the backyard. Your family disputes that neighborhood. They also noted that there are no news stories that would even.
Thank you so very much. There's been an update. I am $80 now away from my goal. Thank you for the donation. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Again, now I can update it and say that we are $80 away from the goal. Thank you so very much. I did get it.
Back up that a man was missing. It's quite a rural community, Martinville, Mississippi. If someone went missing, that might have been noticed.
What was the name of
Can
the
you give us
town?
the name of the person that you said that you walked in and told the police that you murdered however many years ago because your father forced you to?
What was the name of the town you just mentioned? That was
Is this
rural?
Martinville, Mississippi?
No, it's not.
Where did you didn't grow up in Martinville, Mississippi?
No, I did not.
Where did you grow up?
Oh, wow.
I think you could at least find that out from reading my book or
Oh,
watching
wow.
a documentary.
Would you like
This
to are you familiar with Mississippi at all?
Of course I am.
Okay, am I getting the name of the town wrong? Do you want to just tell us as opposed to trying to do a dunking on where in Mississippi did you grow up?
Ma'am, you're accusing me.
Yeah, I just said thank you. I
that
received
I'm
it.
not telling the truth on things.
No,
I
just
did
saying that you
receive
said
it.
you murdered a man, so if you could tell us what town
Oh,
that
now
was
they
in.
want to argue. I did receive it. Thank you so very much. That's why I said the goal has changed. I just got a donation from 90 to 80. We just need $80 to help reach the goal tonight. Thank you, Belinda.
Martinville, Mississippi. If someone went missing, that might have been noticed.
What was the name of
Can
the
you give us
town?
the name of the person that you said that you walked in and told the police?
Someone who has just lambasted innocent people as an internet bully. You're not used to someone come on the show holding your feet to the fire.
My feet don't feel like they're held to the fire at all. I think you're kind of representing yourself as a little all over the place and unable to just present
Not at
your
all. I'm
biographical
very-
items as I'm giving you the
So he
opportunity
just
to
want to
do.
argue and
I'm
fight.
asking
Just
questions.
correcting you so that we
he's a
can have an honest
manipulator.
conversation and it's not another T-Move.
Well, I think that you can read the book.
Okay, you've done that cool line twice. Timu, TMZ. I see you had that
Yeah,
ready to
it
go in the
makes
chamber.
sense.
Let's move on. Let's talk about your your stepfather. You
Mm-hmm.
also claimed that you killed a man at the age of 7 because he instructed you to do that and buried him in the backyard. Your family disputes that neighborhood. They also noted that there are no news stories that would even back up that a man was missing. It's quite a rural community, Martinville, Mississippi. If someone went missing, that might have been noticed.
What was the name of
Can
the
you give us
town?
the name of the person that you said that you walked in and told the police that you murdered however many years ago because your father forced you to?
What was the name of the town you just mentioned? That was
Is this
rural?
Martinville, Mississippi?
No, it's not.
Where did you didn't grow up in Martinville, Mississippi?
No, I did not.
Where did you grow up?
I think you could at least find that out from reading my book.
She
or
don't want to
watching my
read your book.
documentary.
Would you like to, are you familiar with Mississippi at all?
Of course I am.
Okay, am I getting the name of the town wrong? Do you want to just tell us as opposed to trying to do a dunking on? Where in
Insult.
Mississippi did you grow up?
Ma'am, you're accusing me of that
Well,
I'm not
she's
telling
asking
the truth
you.
on things.
No, I'm
And
just saying that you
and
said
your
you murdered a
team
man. So
can't-
if you could tell us what town that was in, that'd be helpful.
It's in interviews I've done. It's in our documentary. And I'm telling you, if you can at least get the town that I'm in, how can we trust you with more information that you're
I
bringing
think the bigger
against me?
thing is the homicide that was committed. So we can scrap about the town later if you don't want to say it. Are you
Yeah, he
saying
know
you
Trump. He
murdered
part
a
of
man anywhere
Turning
in 50
Point.
states? Can you give us the name of the man that you were forced to murder?
Charlie Kirk.
I didn't know
Erika.
who he was.
You didn't know who he was. Okay, and you walked into a police station with this information and were told it doesn't matter anymore. Is that correct?
Is that your assumption that I walked into a police station?
Did you
Where
roll?
hear that?
That
you skip?
confessed to, well, the reason why we know this information at all is because you've shared it publicly and said
Correct.
that they. Okay, so why don't you reshare the story and what's happened with that story since?
Well, why don't you present it accurately so I
The
don't
whole
have to
point of me
keep
having you on the
correcting you?
show and giving you the platform is not so that you can quiz me on your background, but rather so that you could just answer the questions and share the story in its correct context with the right city. So you don't have to worry about misinformation because you have a platform right now. Go ahead.
Well, Candace, I have a platform without you. We have 4 million followers. And listen, I've been on much bigger programs than yours. I don't need
Then why
yours
don't you
to
accept
clarify
this?
what we're doing. But what you're doing is making slanderous accusations that
She's
are incorrect at
asking
the very basic
questions.
level. So, no, I did not walk into a police station. I called the sheriff department and made the claim many years later. Does that help? I'm doing
That
y'all's job
certainly
for
does
you.
help. Thank you for being
Okay.
able to just answer something and doing a quick fix there. Not everything has to take 5 minutes. You called the sheriff's department rather than walked into it. Thank you so much.
Correct. You're
and
welcome.
what happened after that, Victor?
Well, let me ask you this before I go on. Have you ever been abused as a kid?
Oh, here go. Oh my God.
Are you asking me if I've ever beheaded a cat?
No,
No.
I'm asking you, have you ever suffered physical or sexual abuse as a kid?
Oh my God.
I would say that it would be a little bit more extreme if you say that you murdered someone. That's extreme abuse versus people.
But that's not correct. But that's not what I asked you. I asked you
But you're
personally,
not
have you
interviewing
ever
her.
been physically or sexually abused as a kid?
I have not been. I have not suffered
I'm
any
happy.
sexual abuse.
I am happy you have not. Now, what we're entering into now, we must be very careful. Because what and who
Oh,
I
this is a
represent are
master
millions
manipulator, y'all.
of both kids and adults who've suffered abuse. And in no way do I want to make minimum of this or make it.
Now, how can you be cool with Trump and you know about being trafficking has followed you? I mean, not only just Trump and the victims, but trafficking has followed you. So why is it only a concern when Candace is asking questions, but that's a part of your life? Are you an advocate? No, you are affiliated with it as well. Yeah, don't. It's manipulating. I can't stand it.
some type of
Hi, Heavy Bear.
ratings for you. I've shared my story as an adult regarding my childhood and the abuse that I
Why did he accept this interview? Why did he accept it? If you knew what she was going to ask and the questions that she was going to ask you about, and you agreed for it, just for him to find avenues to dispute it or to, yeah, this is just master manipulation. This is a sociopath. Ain't that the one that be killing, harming animals and stuff? Yeah, you just sick. And your whole family is sick.
suffered from 3 to 7
Yes,
years
what
old.
I'm telling you is that your family members dispute it. So it's not about a TV
Right,
moment. It's
Belinda.
about me having spoken to your family members who say that this never
I'm gonna
happened.
call
So
it
that is of interest,
T-move.
obviously. I have
Like
not
it's
suffered
it's,
from
it's
sexual abuse.
budget.
I am happy you have
Y'all
not.
sick.
Now, what we're entering into now, we must be very careful.
Yeah.
Because what and who I represent are millions of both kids and adults who've suffered abuse. And in no way do I want to make minimum of this or
Your
make
daughter
this some type of
says she
ratings for
was
you.
abused
I
by you as
shared my
well.
story as an adult regarding my childhood and the abuse that I suffered from 3 to 7 years
Yes, what
old.
I'm telling you is that your family members dispute it. So it's not about a TV moment. It's about me having spoken to your family members who say that this never happened. So that is of interest, obviously, because
Well,
you
not-
are.
But just say you
not
don't want to
the governor
answer.
of Colorado. So this, figuring out whether or
Yeah.
not you tell fantastical stories or whether or not you're able to tell the truth is kind of important for voters, I would say. And I'm
Well,
inclined
Candace,
to think
no
that you tell
one-
some whoppers because
again,
trying to make it
careful,
emotional
Candace.
and say, well, have you ever suffered sexual abuse? We're talking about a homicide, okay? So I don't know that there are many people who can say that I had to kill someone or behead a cat when I was 7 years old and bury the body in the backyard. That feels like an extreme example. Lots of abuse takes place, sexual abuse takes place. I've heard many of these stories. I would like to, this is actually very important. If this is an unsolved crime, you don't know who this man is. Where did this, I'd like you to just tell a little bit more about what the sheriff said to you when you called and said that you
I
buried
will.
a man in
It's
your backyard.
interesting, though, that you're
Oh, my
claiming
God.
my family members from Martinville, Louisiana, claim this never happened. I'm 6 years old.
I thought
and
he
never once
said-
has my family refuted any of this. As a matter of fact, my sister was on my documentary film, The Victor Marx Story, which folks can watch. It's a documentary on YouTube. And she actually completely solidifies the abuse because she went through it. So did other family members. So I'm not sure who you're talking to, and if
Are you referring to
validated-
Charmaine?
I am not. I'm talking
Which sister
about
are you
Debbie.
referring to?
Debbie, my older sister.
I did not speak with Debbie.
So, Charmaine, if you spoke with Charmaine, she is my half sister, who is the daughter of the abuser, Gloria Dean Kennedy. And I've tried to protect her because she has children. I've tried to protect the family that still carries Kennedy's name out of just, I think, caring for people. And my sister has struggled in her life with things including, a fiance who committed suicide. And it's sad that so much of our problems stem from horrible abuse from her blood biological father.
Well, why did
So,
you abuse your
I'm
daughter?
sorry about that.
But also somebody could be missing a relative that got murdered. So I do think it is relative, like to you running
Of course.
for governor, to know why a sheriff, as you tell it, would decline to look into the matter.
Oh,
if
he gonna
someone
get
was
ki-
killed and
now.
buried in your backyard.
I don't know about
right
this one.
here at our leadership training center, We've got members from ICAC, we've got Attorney General folks, we've got investigators, we've got analysts and detectives that come here to our training center for a retreat. We bring people in. I work by through them with law enforcement. I have MOUs with them. I work to become the man that I wish someone had been when I was a kid to protect me. What I'm saying, and when we talk about kids suffering abuse, or in my case, abuse.
Can y'all believe
and
this?
then
Please hit the
forced to
like
shoot
button.
someone.
Oh my
Yes.
God. I need for
was-
y'all to hit the like button. Please, y'all, hit the like button. Double tap the face on your screen or hit those three dots at the top right corner. Come on, the quicker we do it, the quicker we can finish. This is not a short interview, so come on. Come on, hit the like button.
Older in life before I went to the police because it's a horrific thing to deal with. The reason why, it is a cold case. It was 40 years old. We don't know where the house is. We don't know where he was buried. We don't know who the victim was. And my father, it was my stepfather at the time, he was put in prison for unrelated charges to murder, but it was, sadly, drug use and bringing it in. But there's a cold case. They could not find anything. At least I went to them to clear my conscience because I suffered for years thinking that I'd killed a person.
So you don't know where the house is, you said, right?
No, no, I was brought there at night. I was 7 years old, and I was forced to lie in the back of a car.
And do you know which city it was in, just out of curiosity?
There were two towns or sister towns, Mendenhall and McGee. It was in one of those, yeah, in Simpson County, Mississippi. Feel free to contact the sheriff department.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to know about this, like who authorized you to be able to summon demons or exorcise demons? You told many stories about confronting demons, demanding to know what their names are. Where did you receive that sort of training? Because you don't say you're a pastor now.
Right.
Is that right?
I was in ministry, and I tried being a pastor, but I wasn't called to it. I was called more to be, I would say, a unique evangelist that helped people around the world. Now, as we step into this realm of spiritual warfare, I have to ask you, just for clarity so I know how to communicate it best to you, are you a Christian or a believer in Christ?
Yes.
Do you believe the Bible to be the inherent word of God?
Just to cut through what I think you're perhaps getting at, I think you and I would probably have different faith beliefs if that's what you are interested in.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
fine.
I think that is it fair to assume that evangelical, Calvary Chapel, are you
no.
evangelical, is that correct?
I am a born-again believer in Christ.
Okay. So I'm Catholic, so the idea of you not being a priest and being able to exorcise demons is something that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So I would just like to know
Sure.
who sort of granted you that authority. When did you start doing that?
Yeah, well, you believe in good and evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you believe that demons actually exist?
Of course.
And for us, and what I've studied in the Word and over the years, is demons' main focus is to attack a human's mind through lies. The Bible says that Satan is the father of lies. And that's what often compels and then drives people to do things they probably would never do otherwise. I was very interested in this as a new believer in the Marine Corps to find out, why are people so evil? Why did such horrible things happen to me as a kid? And the only way that I got a solid worldview is to understand good and evil exist. And that is why Christ came to earth. And then that through his word and what he said in his death on the cross, we could be born again. We could be set free from our old nature. We're made perfect before God, but we still have to live our life out, and it's not in perfection. But he gave us all authority. He said, I give you authority to trample serpents, to cast out demons, and I actually believe it. So what really put me in that place was I think my introduction to helping kids who are in youth prisons who struggled tremendously. Oftentimes kids who had killed, murdered, raped, tortured people. I dealt with some of the most severe cases. And why God put me there, I don't know. He just gave me a love for them to bring them hope. And it was there that many of them asked for prayer. And when I prayed for them, they would often manifest demonic influence or oppression. And the Lord taught me how to pray with authority. I go into detail about it. There's a film that we made that clearly communicates what we believe our position is in Christ, our authority is in Christ, and how to set people free. And probably the difference between me and maybe others that, have done stuff is we don't charge people to set them free. We do this out of love. There's no financial benefit for it, especially kids who are incarcerated. But I have over 6,000 letters here in our headquarters of kids that we've written and we've corresponded back and forth that really were helped in this. So while I believe in the power of Christ and the Word of God, and I appreciate the Catholic Church and their hierarchy of who can and can't, pray for and do exorcisms, I didn't have access to that, and I started dealing with a lot of people, and I have over the years. You bring up Corey and his wife, Melody, if you talk to her, she says me praying for her, which didn't take long. We're talking 10, 15 minutes is the average time of prayer. It's not dramatic. Nobody's hurt. There's not manifestation. It's just using the power of Christ, praying for someone, and we love and care for them because that's what Christ does.
But you do say that you can command the demons, then that you can speak to the demons and ask the demons what their names are and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
So you believe you can do that?
I believe
Wow.
I can do what Christ did and said we would do also. He was the one that spoke directly to demons. Told them
he
where to
think
go.
he
He's
God?
the one that asked them their names.
Yeah, he's Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, my followers would be able to even do more than me. So I'll tell you.
What? Do more than
I
God?
just believe it. And we've seen it with thousands of people. And again, there's a film we encourage people to watch. They can watch it for free.
These people, y'all
They'll
see,
more.
this is,
And churches use that. If you talk to her, they would often manifest demonic influence or oppression.
did he say he could do more than
How to
God?
pray with authority. I go into detail about it. There's a film that we made that clearly communicates what we believe our position is in Christ, our authority is in Christ, and how to set people free. And probably the difference between me and maybe others that, have done stuff is we don't charge people to set them free. We do this out of love. There's no financial benefit for it, especially kids who are incarcerated. But I have over 6,000 letters here in our headquarters of kids that we've written and we've corresponded back and forth that really were helped in this. So while I believe in the power of Christ and the Word of God, and I appreciate the Catholic Church and their hierarchy of who can and can't, pray for and do exorcisms, I didn't have access to that, and I started dealing with a lot of people, and I have over the years. You bring up Corey and his wife, Melody, if you talk to her, she says me praying for her, which didn't take long. We're talking 10, 15 minutes is the average prayer. It's not dramatic. Nobody's hurt. It's not manifestation. It's just using the power of Christ, praying for someone. We love and care for them because that's what Christ does.
But you do say that you can command the demons and ask the demons what their names are and things of that nature.
Absolutely. I believe I can do what Christ did and said we would do also. He was the one that spoke directly to demons, told them where to go. He's the one that asked them their names.
Yeah, he's Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, my followers would be able to even do more than me. So I'll tell you, I just believe it. And we've seen it with thousands of people. And again, there's a film we encourage people to watch. They can watch it for free. It's The Unseen War. And churches use, people of all faiths use that to understand that there actually really is. Prayed for people who are believers, non-believers, Muslims. It doesn't matter. Humanity is under
I'm
assault
happy
and attack.
to accept that that's your philosophy, but you also believe that you can command angels.
I believe that angels
Exorcist.
are assigned to us and that we can, by the authority of Christ, command angels to help us in whatever we're doing.
What?
I just believe it. And we've seen it with thousands of people. And again, there's a film we encourage people to watch. They can watch it for free.
Forgive them,
It's The
Lord.
Unseen
You're
War.
right.
And churches use that. People of all faiths use that to understand that there actually really is power. And I've prayed for people who are believers, non-believers, Muslims. It doesn't matter. Humanity is under
I'm
assault
happy
and attack.
to accept that that's your philosophy, but you also believe that you can command angels.
I believe that angels are assigned to
These
us
people
and that
are-
we can, by the authority of Christ,
Oh my
command
God.
angels to help us in whatever we're doing. I do believe that.
In interims, and you do this like prayer circle, and you don't feel weird about doing that, of having people, bend down in front of you and
the
say
fallen
that you're
angels.
commanding demons.
Nobody-
Okay, so he talking about fallen angels. Gotta be.
My followers would be able to even do more than me. So I'll tell you, I just believe it. And we've seen it with thousands of people. And again, there's a film we encourage people to watch. They can watch it for free. It's The Unseen War. And churches use that. People of all faiths use that
Oh,
to
Massey
understand that there actually
Laos.
really is power. And I've prayed for people who are believers, non-believers, Muslims. It doesn't matter. Humanity
Oh,
is
Massey,
under
I'm
assault
happy
and
hold
attack.
to accept
on.
that that's your philosophy, but you also believe that you can command angels.
I believe that angels are assigned to us and that we can, by the authority of Christ, command angels to help us in
Oh,
whatever we're
wow.
doing. I do believe that.
In interims, and you do this like prayer circle, and you don't feel weird about doing that, of having
Oh,
people,
wow.
bend down
I-
in front of you and say that you're
Nobody-
commanding demons,
nobody-
tell you their names. That feels.
Yeah. Nobody bends down in front of me. No one even has to close their eyes when we pray. We record
Yeah, he
every
on the
session
slippery
on
slope.
audio or video so that they can have it, so there's no miscommunication. And I don't know. You have to look at the fruit of what happens of people being set free, like Corby's wife, Melody. She said she had struggled with thoughts in her mind, negativeness, since she was 6. And when I prayed for her, she said she was set free. It saved her life. So I don't know how that could be so wrong.
I could think of a lot of ways that it could be wrong, but I don't want to debate your theology. I just want
Massey
you to have the opportunity to
Laos.
explain it, which I think you did. I do want to move on now to getting into some Turning Point
Okay.
USA stuff. So I
Yeah.
had heard from
Oh
Turning
my
Point USA
God.
people
Massey
that
Laos.
you also were doing.
I mean, I wanted it all
prayers at
blue,
the
but
headquarters. Like you had
oh
a room
my
where you would conduct some
God.
prayers. Is that correct?
I definitely prayed for a couple of people there. Yeah, sure. Including
Did you
Charlie.
Yeah, I thought Massey won. He lost his all blue. I get it, but I wanted him because he was for the victims. Kentucky House District 4 primary election 2026. Gilren Strange projected. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Let's go.
pray over Charlie and Erika Kirk?
She was set free. it saved her life. So I don't know how that could be.
I think he's
so
talking
wrong.
about fallen angels.
I could think of a lot of ways that it could be wrong, but I didn't want to debate your theology. I just want you to have the opportunity to explain it, which I think you did. I do want to move on now to getting into some Turning Point
Okay.
USA stuff. So
We on
I've
our,
heard
our
from
way
Turning
to a
Point
blue
USA
wave.
people,
For
that
real.
you also were doing prayers
Shout out to
at the headquarters.
the
Like you had a
winner.
room where you would conduct some prayers. Is that correct?
I definitely prayed for a couple of people there. Yeah, sure, including
Did you
Charlie.
pray over Charlie and Erika Kirk in one of these
I,
prayers?
I prayed for Charlie. Yes, I did. He asked me to.
And did you do this sort of a retooling angels, demons sort of prayer over him and Erika?
Just Charlie. He asked me to.
Okay. And they gave you an office to do this, is that right?
I prayed for him in his office.
And also other people at Turning Point USA outside of Charlie?
I think there were 3 other people that I prayed for that asked for that. Yeah.
Okay. How did you meet Charlie and or Erika?
I was speaking at an event at a small Hispanic church in California, and Charlie was scheduled to speak, and the pastor asked me last minute to speak. I did, and it was before Charlie. He was a little aggravated that there was another speaker before him because it was a Sunday morning, and I knew about Charlie but never met him. And after I spoke, he spoke, and then we met back in a little makeshift green room, and he says, I've never heard of you, but I'm absolutely encouraged to hear your testimony and what God's done in your life. And he wanted me to have his number and stay connected, so we did. That's how
Okay.
it started.
And was that when he was already married to Erika, or was that a little bit before?
Yes, he was already married to Erika.
Did you meet them both at the same time or met her a bit later?
No, she was there.
Okay, somebody at Turning Point also conveyed to me, and again, this could be inaccurate, which is why I'm asking you, that there was
Okay.
this falling out period, that you and Charlie did have a little bit of a falling out. Is that correct?
No,
You never had a falling out with Charlie?
no.
Okay,
No.
that might have been, they might have had the wrong information.
Well, and I heard or saw that you said he unfollowed me, or we unfollowed each other. Somebody asked me that in another interview. I made them open up their phone, go to Instagram, go on Charlie's and see if he was following me. You can do it right now. He still follows me.
No, they said it
even though
was a
he's in
period.
heaven.
It was the person had said it was a period. They weren't saying that it was
No.
forever. I was just figuring I'd ask you about that.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
we
so
never
that's
had a
just
falling
inaccurate.
out.
Okay.
Yep.
So obviously a big question that we have had is you were first to post a video that was later on removed saying that Charlie had passed. And this
Right.
video was about an hour and 20 minutes before the president's announcement. It would have been to the minutes about the time that his family found out that he had passed away, or the people that were at the hospital had found out that he had passed away. So can you explain how you found that out and why you chose to remove the video?
Well, yeah, I'm first interested to find out why y'all think I was the first or one of the first, to do that. Because, a rough estimate, there's between 1 to 3 million pieces of social media content that are produced every second worldwide. And, my team looked it up. If there's 180 million posts per minute, and let's just say the first 30 minutes, we're talking 5.4 billion posts in 30 minutes. How could y'all narrow it down? What type of technology could y'all do to narrow it down that I was one of the first ones to post that he had passed?
Let's put it in a context that's easier. The
Okay.
first person in Charlie's orbit that announced that
okay.
information, and
Okay.
when we put it down to the minute, it was when Erika found out that Charlie had passed away. So I was wondering how that was.
Okay. I had someone text me, and he said, my son is at Charlie's event, and Charlie was just shot, and it doesn't look good. We went on it. I watched Charlie being shot one time, and my team, many who are former special operations guys and combat medics, lots of experience, they viewed it multiple times because I wouldn't, and they said Charlie wouldn't live from that, and I knew it. I knew the only time I saw it, I knew there's no way he could have survived that. And when I made a post and said, you know, Charlie's passed, of course I know Frank Turret, I know the security teams. I put it up, and then I didn't see anybody else posting it. I thought it was premature, and I pulled it down because it just felt wrong that I would post it. But I wanted people to pray. And then I contacted Erika through a text and told her. I just told her that nobody's gonna kill you. You're safe, you and the kids. No one's coming after you. They just wanted Charlie. And I was just trying to reassure her. Because
So you declared he was dead on the basis of people saying it didn't look good?
On the basis of people, myself included, who've held dead and dying men from combat in horrible situations. And anybody who saw the killing and has that experience we knew he was dead instantly.
I struggle with that one a little bit. I think that's quite audacious for someone to, because you did make a post initially saying he had been shot, pray for him, and then you did a follow-up and then said, you know, Charlie has passed on, and said pray for Erika. So it just seems like there was some information in the corridor there that led you to that conclusion. And also in terms of the people who did post early on, I believe Jack Hibbs, Amir Safari, I think I'm saying his last name probably incorrectly.
That's
definitely
correct.
all a part of that same sort of turning point faith orbit of pastors. And Jack Hibbs took down a video saying that actually there was an Israel channel that reported it first and had the information before anybody else.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you were all perhaps sharing information, but you're saying
No.
you just did that by yourself, no information.
Well, the
and
first
then-
post I made was to ask for prayer. And I knew, at just my gut level from watching it, he's not going to make it. And then, but we believe in prayer. And if nothing else, it's going to be for those who are with him, those who secondary trauma effects of you're supposed to be guarding someone and he's killed. Next, Eric and the kids, the first one we went to. That's why I texted and said, you're safe. They're not going to come for you. Because how terrifying to know someone's just murdered, assassinated your husband. And when I posted the second time, that it had been a little time, and I just kind of spoke from my heart regarding it. But what I don't understand is why the inquisition on that from you?
Well, because
what's
we just
your
wanted
point?
to know where the information came from. Obviously, if we're looking into everything that happened that day, we're going to look at who was the first to announce that Charlie died. And you were very early, and you removed it also. So it was an interesting item that people obviously have questions about.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you were among the first to post, obviously you and your wife, actually, maybe it was actually just you in the first 2 days that went to Erika and Charlie's place to provide her some comfort. So you were quite close to Erika.
We brought our team immediately to help give relief for the first security team, who I knew when I was in contact with, and they were suffering trauma and exhaustion. They didn't have a secondary. So yeah, we went there. Of course, my bride was with me. Her and Erika are very, very close. And we were just standing by to bring comfort or help. The number one need they had, and we felt like it, and we were asked to, is to provide security, to give relief. So that's what we did.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, how did Eileen and Erika get so close?
There's a lot of women that, reach out to my bride for mentorship. And Eileen's like perhaps a second mom to Erika. We've been close to them.
Second mom. She got a mom, don't
we
she?
were texting this week, and Erika reaches out, and we respond, or we reach
Second
out,
mom.
encourage her. So yeah, they're very close.
Just sort of became close over the years.
Yes.
Okay, great. That just asking you questions. That's not
Yeah,
trying
no,
to speculate anything.
no,
I'm just
I'm fine.
literally trying to understand what the relationship is here, because there are a lot of themes that keep popping up, and one of the things is your involvement in trafficking and charity. It's a lot of, just seems to be like a running theme of a lot of people that are in that orbit. And I wasn't quite clear as to how you were able to involve yourself, I guess, outside of the military. Maybe you could explain this, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Haiti, where else, actually, could I ask you that? Did you ever go into Eastern Europe? I feel like there's always a Eastern Europe bend, too.
Yeah, no, not physically. We didn't do physical operations there. But how we got involved into it, my time in the Marine Corps was I served under President Reagan. My wife and I started a ministry, All Things Possible, many, many years ago, a couple of decades. Before that, I worked for Dr. James Dobson as an assistant. And we initially got into this aspect or space of ministry to help kids who were abused and suffered, many who were incarcerated, which was often a pathway for them to follow because of crime and mental health issues. We were invited, first I was invited to go to Burma by Dave Eubank, who I consider kind of the godfather of high-risk missions work. And he raises children in Burma, Thailand, but they did missions work they still do, for decades. But it was me going there, experiencing what we did, seeing things at a whole different level. And then I got invited to go to Iraq when ISIS invaded. And the purpose was, and we had an invitation by the Kurdistan government, we had access placement and an official invitation to go in to help those who had been held captive by ISIS. I brought in partial psychology team, partial security team, because ISIS was everywhere and we needed to provide our own security. We went there the first time in 2015, the early part, and it's a very hot zone. We thought that would be it, Candace. We just thought we'd go in and help. We saw the enormous amount of IDPs, which are displaced persons because of ISIS having to flee cities, and the number of kids. And it was actually through my wife, helping a girl who had been held captive. And this girl told Eileen, she said, "You really care about all of our sisters." She was a Yazidi, and she refers to all the girls still being held captive. And she says, yes. And the girl pulled out a phone, gave it to my wife, and said, "This is from ISIS Emir in the house I was held captive. And I hope it helps y'all find more." And actually, she had asked for my wife's, she kept looking at my wife's watch before that. There's a picture of it. It's actually very beautiful. And my wife said, "Do you like my watch?" And she said, "Yes." She goes, "Well, you can have it." And she gave it to her. And that was the first of many times going into the region and many missions to help those. We didn't plan. It wasn't our focus to rescue women and children at all. It was our focus to help those who've been traumatized in these IDP camps, which some had 30,000 people in them. But they were lacking basic necessities. For women and girls, they were lacking what we provided, dignity kits. For personal hygiene, we provided food, we provided water. We started providing surgeries as our donations came in. And never did we take any governmental funding. To this day, we haven't. Everything that we've done has been documented. And I think some people who doubt the authenticity of what we do, they simply have to go to YouTube and watch it. We've documented
Right.
year
Well, I think
after
some
year.
of the doubt comes from the fact that people were not able to locate any of these, like 45, I think the number you claim is 45,000 kids and women that you've rescued. And 45,000, is that what you told Sean Ryan? 45,000, I think, was the number?
Have you ever read or heard me say we've rescued 45,000 women or children?
I think we played the clip. I might be wrong, but 45,000 I think was the number. Producers, you can remind me, but I think I heard you say 45,000 in a clip.
You have to be very specific.
Yeah, on the Sean Ryan show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was not rescued nowhere, including the Sean Ryan show. Have I ever declared in writing or verbally that I ever rescued 45,000 women and children? That's absolutely.
You guys think you could pull that clip?
Yeah.
I'm going to have the producers pull. I'm pretty sure you
Okay.
said 45,000.
Yeah, just play the clip in context.
Yeah. Do you guys
sure.
want to play that? Is there a way? I'm just trying to see if we can get the producers to pull it, so I don't.
Yeah.
Notorious.
They'll pull that.
I
I'm pretty
started.
sure you said 45,000. So are you saying You didn't rescue
Cute, look, and
45,000
sent and twisted
people?
that name
What I'm saying is,
and went
I've
to.
never, me, said or written, or our organization ever declared we rescued 45,000. We've helped, we've provided trauma relief, and some we've definitely rescued because it's part of what we do. Our mission statement for All Things
She has
Possible Ministries
Jesus.
is to set
She
captives free
left the cult.
physically,
What are you
emotionally,
talking
and
about?
spiritually.
Do
And we
not
see
come
within
over
the
here
confines
making up stuff. She declares that she's a Christian now. She was a Zionist. That's not her anymore. So, bye, Claudine, because you're over here lying. Don't come over here lying. Don't come over here lying. I'll put you out. What do you mean, Monty Trucking? The winner is 100% Trump, sir. Yeah, I'm trying to see if anybody else was in here lying. I got to put them out. We do not tolerate lying. Hair on the back of the neck goes concerning this one. He's shifty. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Because he has a history of, he's a serial killer and trafficker. It
our
follows
mission.
him.
And we're very successful in what we do, but we document it in a way that if people
Manipulator.
simply go to our YouTube channel, they can see it. If
He
they
wants
go
her.
back,
He wants.
they can watch
He wants her
the history
clients.
of our social media.
Well, you can read
Not
my
How
only
many
book.
people?
deleted.
How many people would you say you've rescued? Because maybe we're parsing here. You're saying freed. You freed people, rescued people. How many people would you say
Kept
that you have
saved.
rescued? Just to get a number from you.
Well, we would never declare the total number of people we've rescued for
Approx-
both security and safety reasons, but we're happy to say that many have been set free and rescued in multiple places from ISIS. Is
Look
where
at her
we got
looking
the
to him.
most, I think, people should
Gaslighting.
recognize
That's
that because of how
manipulating
high
to
risk
me.
it was. My wife and I, the last mission we were on, we rescued. That was a rescue of a mom who had been held captive 9 years. She was kidnapped as a teenager, had 2 children inside of captivity of ISIS. And we planned a mission for 6 months, executed in 5 days. It's documented, and she's back home with her family. Unfortunately, her dad passed away while she was in captivity, and we never told the family we were going to attempt to rescue because of the hardship it would cause if we weren't able to do it. But Eileen, my bride, was the point person, the first person to meet her when we were doing this. That's documented as well, and we show pictures and videos of the mom and the kids in our safe house inside of Iraq.
I think one of the things that makes people really uncomfortable with a lot of these couples who involve themselves in rescuing and trafficking operations in charity is that we do hear this repeat thing where you say, well, it would compromise their safety if we told you where they went.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that makes us have to trust you, right? And trust that you're an honest person and that you're an honest dealer and that you're in fact rescuing them and not, maybe holding them in captivity yourself.
Yeah.
And so when you get a person like you who I think, I have some questions about your character. I think that that's fair.
Sure.
And you say that you're in this business and that you do everything, and the people that say you're not that person are all troubled. For example, the young woman that you said you rescued from a pedophile who says another story, and she makes the claim that she believes that you're a part of the trafficking
Right.
ring. How is it possible for people to be able to prod that narrative if you can always just claim, well, the people that we help need privacy? I mean, that would be a perfect setup for like Jeffrey Epstein, right? I mean, if you just want
Yeah.
to traffic people and then say, well, we can't tell you where these people are because we got to protect their identity and we've got to protect everything about them.
Candace, I think that's not a bad question because there are no doubt, and there's no doubt in my mind that there are organizations that are actually traffickers that pose as counter-trafficking. We've been doing this for, many years. And we work through law enforcement. In other countries, we still work through government agencies. And the best way to prove the authenticity of claims is two ways, or three if you want to go all the way. One is people who've been on the mission, credible individuals. I have quite a list of operators who've done security work, intelligence gathering part, who either still have or did have the highest level of clearance in the U.S. that worked for the CIA or Joint Task Force or Delta. This is not something that people winch at because we have a history of high credibility and integrity.
Yeah, so the CIA, I would say, is the biggest trafficking organization in the world. So that's not a vote of confidence, right? So if you say, I did it with the CIA or the IDF, I go, yeah, well, so did Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Right.
So that doesn't, I don't think that like saying I do it for the government doesn't lend credibility.
Well, let me clarify. I don't disagree with your statement. There are very corrupt governments, and I work for none of them. I work around the governments, but I've never been paid by any of them. When I say CIA, I'm talking about former men and women who have worked for the agency and bring a set of skill sets that are trustworthy for us. And the third way would be the actual victims themselves. We just got a video from Southeast Asia. I didn't ask for, but one of our safe houses there, they were so hurt and disgusted by the false allegations against me. And it's only happened since I've entered the political realm, which is a completely different beast. But they made a video and sent it. I couldn't even watch it all because it was victims that we had saved and helped. And they're sending a video to try to prove to the naysayers that, of course, what he's saying is real. And that's on our social media. People can watch that. It's either AI or a bunch of people that are paid.
He wants her clients.
We've been doing this far too long.
He
and
wants
with far too
her
much
followers.
integrity. And if I was doing anything nefarious,
that's why he accepted
believe me, we would have already got in trouble for it. But we're not. The other one is if you just come. If you ever, Candace Owens, if you ever say, I want to go to the Middle East and meet people and see firsthand what you've done, if you'll accept the risk, I'll give you my word that you can be on a team. We'll take you there. We'll introduce you. As long as you sign an NDA and make sure you don't reveal some of our network, because we still do the work. If you want to go to Southeast Asia,
people go missing.
Well, you can bring a camera crew. We'll introduce you to one of our safe houses and see the work that we do. It's just we've always kept things close to our vest. We've raised our own support. And the most important thing that has helped us is prayer, because we have been able to do things that people said could never be done.
That's like Bibi Netanyahu trying to get
that's the point I'm making regarding this
Charlie
aspect.
Kirk to
now,
come.
Regarding Holly, the young lady that you brought
and he
up
said
in
no,
Canada,
2 days later he was
you know what?
On the lie.
Everything we said about her is true. Everything we did is true. And here's what I would say to people like yourself, and I haven't heard you accuse us of doing anything nefarious. You only repeat what others say. But regarding Holly, this is what I'd say to anybody. Has anyone talked to Holly's mother or her father?
I wouldn't either,
If you haven't
Belinda.
talked to their mother, her mother or father,
I don't even want to meet up at the red light.
done the very basics of investigative work. 2, we met with an HSI, human trafficking specialist at the border.
Satan time is real slick, ain't it? Sure is. It's slithering.
And gave her temporary status. 3, we brought in law enforcement both here and in Texas, where we
and
were
the military too.
4,
What that mean?
documented everything. And 5, the very point couple in Canada that was our, I would say, our agents of hope up there, have video that they just posted yesterday of Holly telling the truth about what we did to help her. And look, I've had those videos, but I've never put them out since they reached out to Holly. And it wasn't Holly that reached out. It was Holly's pedophile who...
That's why there is no diabetes in Israel. If you are a Christian and don't know that type 2 reversal is in the Bible, read the scriptures again. This drink, mentioned more than 30 times in the scriptures and known as insulin
groomed this girl since she was 13, had sex with her at 15. She is sadly, a very damaged individual. They've already had
They
a
always
child.
damaged
And
after
I'm
they
telling you, the people who
been around
platformed
predators.
her pedophile on the conservative radio station here, they're going to be held accountable because they've re-victimized this girl. She has Stockholm Syndrome. She hasn't been posting. The last thing they did, and I was told that these folks here...
But he talking about a victim. I thought he couldn't
Candace,
discuss one.
told her, if you and Les will sue Victor, try to get him for trafficking, you'll be able to make millions.
So Victor, an easy question for you. Have you ever done anything wrong?
Of course, but in what context?
Period.
Just in your ministries, in these relationships that you've had with people that claim that they find you to be manipulative and abusive. Have you ever done anything wrong?
Candace, I'm human. I've messed up plenty, but in the area of integrity, I've never intentionally gone after anybody. I've never manipulated, maligned, or tried to do things for money. So yeah, I mean, watch my film, read one of my 2 books. I talk about plenty of self-evident, ways that I depend on the grace of God. But I don't know if it's that hard to believe that somebody that came from my background, who feel like I've been given a second chance in life, my goal as a kid growing up was to become the man that I wish somebody would have been to help save me. And I turn around and God redeems my life for a greater good. What's so hard to believe about that? That I made right choices. I didn't have to end up in prison. Yeah, I struggled with drug abuse as a kid. I struggled with my temper early on, of which I told people I would, about once a year, I'd punch or kick a hole in the wall. That was many years ago. I told people I was under psychiatric care, 123 visits to a trauma specialist. Why wouldn't I after the abuse that I went through, which was severe, and torture? My life is a redeemed life. Never do I claim to be perfect, but my passion is I love people because I'm loved by God. And I don't know why, only since I've come into this space of running for governor has all hell broke loose. And
I think people are just looking into your background and they have some questions about, it just seems a little bit fantastical, your relationships with the IDF. I mean, personally,
do you want to talk about that?
Well, I think you've been honest about your relationship with the IDF. I think you've just said that you have relationships with them, obviously. You went on Charlie Kirk's show after October 7th. You've said you foster a relationship with them. I'm not saying...
Nothing was I did.
Nothing was said, just to be clear, that was illegal about your relationship with them. There was nothing said that was implied that you did anything illegal.
Ask me what I did with the IDF. Ask me so I can tell you. Why don't you ask me what I did with the IDF? Why did I go to Israel?
After October 7th, we played the clip on our show when you were on Charlie Kirk's show.
Do you know what I did there, Candace?
I can say what you said on the Charlie Kirk show, that you went there after October 7th to be able to tell the story of what had happened there and to separate propaganda. People would say it was propaganda.
Correct.
But, yeah, so we showed that.
Well, let me tell you, we helped 6,000 children who had been affected by the war between Hamas and Israel. And it was because we had access places and an invitation that we were able to go into these places.
Who invited you?
A nonprofit that was based inside of Israel, who was a Special Forces IDF guy who's followed us for years. We got invited in. And, the first question I asked him when I'm in kibbutzes with blood and gore everywhere, I said, why didn't the government respond? What happened? And my friends who lived there said 2 things, Victor. One, we were unprepared and we underestimated our enemy. I said, how long did it take for the government to send reinforcements? It was 6 hours. 6 hours. I asked every fighter, why? Why didn't they respond and help y'all? Why did they leave y'all here fighting? Why were they even there? Children have to get killed. How come they didn't respond? No one has an answer. And someone should be held accountable for that.
Is he talking about what's going on now or some long time ago?
I'm not there to back Palestinian folks. I'm there for women and children. And we put
because that's who you gonna profit off of.
Over 6,000. I went into the West Bank, and yes, I did go into Gaza by virtue of these special operations teams. Not to shoot, not to kill, not to kick doors in. I went to pray. And we helped Palestinian kids who had been injured as well. This is who we are. And anything other than is just ridiculous. We handed out lion and lambs.
What do you think
What's your
about
trauma
what
tools?
Israel is doing in Palestine?
Here's a true story about a grocery store that's making healthy and sustainable living the new normal. Nick's mom, this is Nick by the way, struggled to find healthy
at the moment.
Well, I know this. I know amazing
wow.
IDF fighters. I know amazing people who are protecting
Just
their
answer.
homeland. I love children on both sides of it.
She
And
asked
I've
you, what do
been
you
with
think?
great warriors. We've helped. We've helped. But I don't, and I can't say that I fully trust the leadership and judgment of a government that waited 6 hours to send reinforcement. It's a 20-minute flight by helicopter. It's a 45-minute drive to send troops down there. The reasons they said, I still don't know. And I was told by everybody, there'll be an investigation afterwards.
Yeah,
But I know
I
this.
think it was to establish the pretext for what they did in Gaza. I'm just asking, you expressed that you and your wife care deeply about women and children.
We do.
And you can see the footage of what they have done to Gaza since. So I'm asking you.
It's horrific. While we were there on the Israeli side, we had over 2,000 rockets launched at us. How are they still firing rockets? I said from the beginning.
No, I don't
this
mean
could
as
be
Israel as the
stopped.
victim. I'm saying now I think the victim has flipped, obviously.
I think innocent people on both sides paid a price, paid a horrible price.
But do you believe what's happening in Gaza is a genocide?
I would say this, it has turned
Why do you
into
have to look
genocide.
up?
But the question I have to ask,
Oh, she set him up.
and you should be asking too,
He a Christian.
why didn't Hamas
He a Christian.
stop firing rockets when we were there doing humanitarian work?
That
There
ain't
was
what
over
she asked
2,000
you.
rockets fired at us in the areas that we were at. It was nonstop.
It don't-
I
look
said
how
this
she
from the
looking at him.
beginning. I put it online. I was on Fox.
He
I
can't
said,
answer. He
Hamas
cannot
needs
say
to
it's a
stop
genocide.
firing rockets.
He can't
in
say
the
it's a
beginning.
genocide.
Stop firing. Return the hostages. Return them. And
Is
then
it a
there'll be
genocide?
ceasefire. Work out something. They never did. And that's the question. Look, I love Palestinians. I love the people.
That ain't what
I've
she
helped
asked you.
Kids, women. I love them.
Is it
And
a
to see people
genocide?
innocently slaughtered because of a terrorist group, Hamas, that continues to attack
What you think about the
Israel.
Epstein
What
files?
are you going to do?
Well,
You
I
have
think
to
the
defend
terrorist group
yourself.
now might be the IDF, right? Because of what's happening in Gaza. I don't think that that's done by people who are not terrorists. I mean, I don't. Have you seen the videos of what's coming out of there?
I saw the
shooting
videos of what
children as they're
Hamas
walking.
did. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Guess
I do
what?
want to just show you, by the
In
way, your
all
website
war-
said
in
that
all
you rescued
war,
45,000
kids
people. I just want to show you that. This is, well, the old website. Is this, did this get changed? But a pastor, this is, I don't know who changed this. Maybe you had somebody doing your
45.
website and that got changed. Did you have somebody make the website for you?
I can't.
It says a high-risk humanitarian who has rescued more than 45,000
Ooh-wee.
women and children.
Liar.
That's completely inaccurate. I would have never. What website is that on?
It's victor2026.com.
We never, anybody,
Look at him.
they're saying that that was on our website. I don't believe that. We
I
would
just
never
showed it to
put
you.
rescued 45,000. Never.
He's a victim marked for governor.
Don't say.
Yeah, I don't.
She busted
Just,
him,
you know,
y'all.
it will still save former edits on a website, so it may have just been your website guy got something wrong. So I just wanted to let you know that we didn't
Okay,
look it up.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that is very interesting to hear your perspectives on what Israel is doing. I think it's probably going to be a #1 issue, and I think right now, currently, people feel that the majority of the politicians have sold out to AIPAC, and I would definitely have some, questions about your relationship with the IDF.
That
and
AIPAC
like
ain't
I
no
said
joke,
before, we did
boo-boo.
not say that you did anything illegal by, if you are,
Well, I can tell you, I
legally
never-
allowed to buy and sell guns.
Never did I ask Corby for 50,000 weapons fighting. Why? I have an FFL. I only buy stuff for ourselves, for our training. That's ridiculous. That's absurd.
You don't already
And
got
again,
caught in line,
Corby's
sir.
still loose out there. And if he's watching, Corby, please turn yourself in to some authorities. Let them question you. And like I said from the beginning, please get help. Don't act upon the thoughts you're hearing.
So I'm sorry, are you presenting that he's on the run right now from the federal government? Because that's a remarkable claim.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's on the run, but I'm saying
Turn yourself
that
in. What does that mean?
the authorities are looking for him to question him.
Have
And
they
he went
tried
from-
to call him?
I guess, I don't know. It's both the FBI and El Paso
That would
County.
just be a
Maybe
good
he's
start
talked
if
to
you're
them.
looking for someone to just call them, right?
Well, I'm sure they
But
have.
you explained,
It's
you-
an open investigation. But I'm just saying, Corby should just stop whatever he's doing and respond to authorities to get this sorted out.
But you don't know if they've reached out to him, but you're saying he should stop and respond?
I do not know. They've contacted me and said, do you know where he is? Do you know where he would be? And I'm like, I do not. So
Okay, well,
that's why I'm
just to go
giving
back,
this.
just so you know, the way that you said it in the first time, you made it kind of sound like he was on the run from authorities,
Right.
right?
You said turn yourself in.
Sounds like, when you say
Well,
turn
he
yourself in,
should.
it sounds like there's a warrant for your arrest. So this is what I think that sometimes you can get, maybe you don't realize it, but you can get a little fantastical in your descriptions. Corby, stop what you're doing and turn yourself in is a little bit different from, I have no idea if they're reaching out to him, but I was told they might give him a call, right? So that's a little more
That's two different
reasonable of a
things.
statement.
That's
to make.
manipulating.
Let me make it very clear. The FBI has contacted us. It's an open investigation. And El Paso County Sheriff Department, they are looking for Corby. Plain and simple. He should stop what he's doing and contact them or turn himself in to local authorities wherever he is so he can be questioned.
You don't have to turn yourself in if there's not a warrant for your arrest. Respectfully, like, that's not how that works. If they just have to call them. I think that's a perfect place to leave that. Let's not pretend. If you said there was a warrant for his arrest, that'd be a little different, but you are not required in any of the 50 states to turn yourself in because somebody says, okay, we're gonna try to make some contact with this person. You have not said that he's not answering. I want to stay away from the fantastical stories and the narratives and just stick to the facts. Like I said, I've heard that there's an open investigation into you and has something to do with guns. I don't know, but I wouldn't just assert
that's not
things.
true.
We could say,
We've never
Victor,
been
stop what you're
contacted.
doing and turn yourself in because somebody got a
Candace,
phone call.
That's a complete
That's what you-
fabrication.
Okay.
I
It's
work
always
with
a
law
fabrication.
You
enforcement.
said turn yourself in.
Well,
Candace,
we will leave that alone. So
we
you
don't have
assert
to.
that
If
Corby's
someone-
accusations
if
against you
someone
Leave your-
said- if someone
Turn
said they were
yourself
going to
in for
kill
what?
you,
If
and they told
I don't have no
somebody how,
warrant, why do I have
want
to turn
that person
myself
to
in?
talk to the law enforcement
I have no evidence of that, and like I said, some
Okay.
of your stories, just a perfect example is what you just
Well,
did there.
it's Corey
when you say
Kennedy
stop and turn
who
yourself in,
platformed Corby. Obviously, this is a little bit more.
and I am platforming you right now, actually. So here we go.
Yeah, but I've done nothing wrong. If
never in your
anything,
life.
that's just incredibly sarcastic.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic. I find you to be
Okay.
arrogant and off-putting, actually. It was a little bit of sarcasm of me basically
Okay.
pointing to the fact that you come across as very arrogant, and it is off-putting that you make statements like you make. Stop what you're doing and turn yourself out. You're constantly presenting yourself like you're some sort of an authority. You can just deliver the facts. I received a phone call from this person. They said they might be looking for him, and I don't know where that went since. That would be a logical,
Candace,
non-emotive
it's
statement.
completely appropriate for me to say law enforcement is looking for an individual who confessed to someone who platformed him on your show, connected y'all, that he is homicidal and he wants to kill me and this is how he's going to do it.
I
The
just
same way that
don't
Charlie
know
was killed.
if I believe that the feds would need you to help look for him if that were true. They do have resources. But like I said, I also don't believe that you beheaded a cat when you were 3, because kids are not that strong and that's a hard thing to do. I don't believe you wore a cat head because there's a lot of things that you say that I don't believe. So I'm just going to file it under.
But I'll tell you, be very careful in minimizing someone who's been victimized, including children, because there
We're talking
are
about you and a
millions of us
cat.
out there.
I do
perhaps
not
if
believe
you-
I do not believe the story
perhaps
that
if
you were
you
forced
were
to behead a
abused,
cat and it was your
You
first
don't have
memory.
to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I just
Okay, a lot of
just,
women
careful,
are victimized and
minimize
people don't believe it.
that.
Yeah,
I
and
truly
you
don't,
know
and
that
is
because you
not
have
to
a lot of
victimize
women
children. I do think that
accusing
what
you
you're
of
actually
things.
doing is you're
And
being emotionally manipulative by
you-
saying, "Oh, if you don't
yeah.
believe me, then you don't believe victims." No, I believe things that sound believable because I have a logical, rational brain.
Yeah, you're a
And
manipulator,
I
Yeah,
sir.
you've
stop
never
at,
been victimized. You've never suffered
shooting and
sexual
murdering
abuse.
people, and the sheriff's department not wanting to figure out who that is or not knowing where it happened.
I tell you
A
what,
lot of it
Candace,
does not ring
I get
true
it.
to me. And like I said,
I
I
get
did
it.
enough due diligence to
That's
speak to your
fine.
relatives, and they say that it's not true.
Don't argue with her. She's a good
You're saying it
debater.
as though
very
they're protecting the
basics.
abuser. I
Listen,
just am
you
telling
haven't
you, I
done your due
personally don't
diligence
believe
for the
it.
basics.
And
How about
if
we introduce
I
you
were a
to the
Colorado
international
resident,
crimes? I would say
I
this.
wouldn't
We
be
can
voting for
introduce
you.
you to international, well, you're not, it doesn't matter. What I would say is this, the international crimes against children, let us introduce you to detectives
Hey, Debbie
that
Hudson.
actually work on child abuse cases and have one conversation with them to see
I don't
what's
believe you are,
really
Captain.
real.
I don't. I'm
Auntie,
sorry.
please
You don't
remove.
have
That's
to. I'm not
not
saying you
for
have
everybody.
to, but I'm saying
Please
don't
remove what?
minimize people who've been victimized.
Please remove what, Debbie? Hi, Stinson. What's not for everybody? What are you talking about? Come and get me, Cooper. What are we talking about, Debbie? Remove what? And Stinson, what are you talking about? Come get me, Cooper. What are y'all talking about? What are we doing? I need to know what you're talking about, Debbie. Bye. Bye, Debbie. Get out. You're not welcome here. I asked you a question, God damn it. That means I need for you to, yeah, bye. Bye. Get your ass on. Cooper, hanging with Mr. Cooper. Yeah, y'all playing games. Your service is no longer wanted here. Yeah, I don't play games. Not at all. I'm not playing with you. If I ask you a question, I need for you to answer it. And if not, I'm going to put you out. What was she talking about is not for everybody.
I'm not. I'm talking about you directly. So you don't have to make
But
this.
I am.
You don't have to
One
universalize
that
it.
represents millions, Candace.
I don't think you represent millions, Victor Marx. I really struggle, and I actually am hopeful that you don't represent millions. I want to be. I
don't get that.
Trust me,
of the future of
there
this
are
country.
millions that follow me that suffer abuse. And that's why our films, our books, that's why me telling my story encourages and gives them hope. That's as simple as that. We'll never stop doing that. Whether you believe it or not, that's
My
not the point
content
here. The point
tonight is for entertainment purposes
to
only.
say that I
To
didn't
get an
suffer
understanding.
abuse the way I'm
not
sharing
saying you
it
didn't suffer
is
some form of
horrible.
abuse. I'm saying you didn't.
It's horrible.
I don't
No,
believe
it's
you wore a
horrible.
beheaded cat head after you beheaded it. I don't.
Yeah, if I ask
that's
you a
okay.
question,
We can just
it would be in
agree
your
to
best
disagree on
interest
that one.
to answer. If not, I'm
Just
going
a lot
to
of
put
the
you out.
mechanisms there just don't make sense to me.
You should talk to ICAC detectives, people who work on sex crimes against children, and kids who are abused and murdered. There was a kid here, 4 years old, that was beat to death.
I
Every
believe
bone in his
kids are beat
body.
to death.
Yeah, have a good night.